Mason, I know you know this, but the Loot Crate theme for September is speed. Quickest characters and vehicles there is.
Yep.
And
Okay.
I know you also know this. If you visit Loot...
Turtle Man.
Is he the...
Long-time villain of The Flash.
Oh, yeah. He ain't that fast, though.
No, he's one of those... No, his superpower's that he's really slow. But it's what... Remember...
Because he got hit in the head?
Yeah.
So he has an acquired brain injury.
No.
And Flash beats him up.
This is going very well.
I don't like this, Mason. I don't like it.
His superpowers, he's really slow, but it's one of those characters where they had to sort of write it like that is a disadvantage to the Flash. Like, he's like, Turtle Man's going so slow that I can't catch him. No, just move at a normal pace, Flash, and you'll catch him.
Yeah,
You're not an idiot. Maybe you have the acquired brain injury. Now we can't edit that out.
True. Anyway, but if you visit lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet and use the promo code weeklyplanet, one word, you get $3 off any subscription box. And I say
Loot
any,
Crate,
Mason,
if you're listening, could you also make it so if you use the code weeklyplanet, all one word?
Yeah.
All one word.
That's right. We
you
need
also
both.
get the discount as well.
But obviously try, if you're listening to this, try the first one first.
Try the first one first.
But yeah.
Because the second one's just nonsense
That's
that
right.
I've invented now. They're pretty quick.
They're pretty
responding to
quick.
requests,
They're great,
but-
aren't they?
Yeah.
But the reason I say $3 off any subscription box is because they have a plethora, Mason, of things that you might enjoy.
They do. They have regular Loot Crate, which is pretty great.
And the reason I say that is
Loot
because...
Crate.
That's right. Because we got last month's box, which was... I can't remember the theme exactly. It might have been
It was
robots?
Anti-Heroes.
Anti-Heroes. Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, regardless, we've got a couple of things here which
Oh, we got
which came in it.
Loot Crate DX.
That's right.
Which is like the super fancy
It's the premium
box.
one. It's $100 worth of value. It is more expensive, but
Yeah.
you get...
That's why they only send us one of them.
That's exactly right.
Because they're like, you're worth about half a man each. And we're like, oh, all right. We split it.
Yeah, we split it. What's the item
Well,
that you picked out?
I remember these as a kid. I think I have one of these still at my parents' house, so I'm gonna
See if
put
it's
them
worth,
both.
see if it's worth anything.
No, I'm gonna put them together and make them kiss. But it's these Gundam like action
Yeah,
figures that you assemble
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
There's so many pieces.
I know.
This
But
guy's got-
they look awesome, though.
He's got some sort of glaive. What is that? What's the big thing he's got?
I want to say glaive, but I've never heard the word glaive before.
Until I just said it now.
Yeah.
And now I'm definitely not sure if that's the real term for it.
and I have
He's like a samurai themed Gundam robot.
Yeah. And
Gundam Barbatos.
very good.
Yeah, Barbatos.
And I have a-
Romanticos.
I have a Loot Crate exclusive Gypsy Danger Jaeger
from
figure
Pacific
from
Rim.
Pacific Rim, which is really
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's sitting on my bloody desk, mate.
What's the Australian one called?
I don't know. It's probably like get a shrimp, mate, or some.
Yeah.
The Australian Jaeger, which was piloted by two British men.
That's
if
right.
I
yeah.
recall correctly.
Oh, the worst Australian accents ever committed to film. I feel worse than your worse than your Mick Jagger and Ned Kelly.
Oh, good lord.
Worse than Paul Hogan doing anything.
Robert Downey Jr. does a good one.
Yeah, okay,
His
that's
one's
true.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, for this month's one, if you did go to the DX, like I said, there's a bunch of them. We're just going to pick a different one each month that we can talk about to mix it up. They're doing Speed as well, and the items that they've got is Back to the Future, Transformers, but they've got the original logo. So I'm hoping it's not part of the... I'm assuming it's not part of the new movie. But you never know, Mason.
Well, there's a big resurgence of like
retro Transformer
stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know the Titans have returned? There's billboards in Melbourne that are like Transformers Titans Return. So there's like a Fortress Maximus.
I do like Fortress
There's a
Maximus.
Power Master Optimus Prime. It's kind of
Okay.
crazy. I might get one.
Yeah, you can get one. Make him kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
And the other thing is Mad Max.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, lootcrate.com
That's more
/weeklyplanet.
crashes, but I'll take it.
Sure. And Weekly Planet, one word for $3 off. Or that other thing that you said earlier.
So let's see
we
what
got to
happens.
do the show now,
All
Mason.
right, fine, God.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the
Hello,
Weekly
it is
Planet
me.
official
It's me,
podcast
Gundam
of
Barbatos.
comicbookmovie.com.
What are
where
you
we
doing
talk
here?
movies, comics, TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me as always, my co-host, Nick Mason. Welcome, Nick Mason, to the real
Thank
150th
you.
episode.
I was going
This
to
is
do
the
a thing.
real one.
Well, good work. Episode 152, you've made it 150 episodes.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Because as we know, I've been away for two.
Let's listen back to some classic James moments from his 150 roll the tape. I hate coriander. No, not the Teen Titans character, the spice. I hate it. And for some reason, I'm airing my grievances on a podcast about superheroes. I'm going to talk about it. I hate this guy from my high school that I haven't spoken to in 10 years.
Why is he doing so many sit-ups on Facebook?
I'm airing my grievances on this superhero podcast for some reason. Anti-microbe. It doesn't. It's okay when you're sweating it. Oh, so many great memories.
So many good memories. Thanks for putting that together, by the way.
No problem. Took hours.
And your lady friend has been kind enough to get us a bloody on-air professional radio, like a professional radio man would have.
That's right. It's right next to our neon Budweiser sign in the man cave.
Yeah. Do you think there's too much lights in this room now?
No, more neon.
More neon it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Mason, we got to talk news.
Okay.
For this week,
if we must.
We must. Now there was a report this week that Daniel Craig was reportedly offered.
I honestly thought you were going to say Craig David there.
he's
early 2000s British R&B superstar Craig David. Such a line beard.
Such a great line beard. He was reportedly offered $150 million for 2 more Bond films.
Wow.
Now, Vanity Fair, though, wrote an article that says that they reached out to their sources and say this is untrue. So, look, it's probably not true. It's rumor, whatever. But do you think this is something that Sony would entertain?
Are they even going to get $150 million back on the next
Well,
couple of
that's a
Bond
good
movies?
question. Because it's not like... Would you even say that Craig is at the peak of his Bond power anymore?
And he's going to look like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He's going to have the face of a man who's only doing it for $150 million. Imagine that face.
Yeah. Can
you even imagine it? Actually, I'd kind of want to see that.
He's got the face of a potato who doesn't want to be in a Bond film. That's how I see him.
But he's wearing a lot of very expensive moisturizer.
Boy, is he.
Which is very important.
Yeah. Well, the last time, because on the press junket for Spectre, he was like, if I do another one, I'd kill myself. Like, he said those exact words. Like, he was going to slit his wrist or something.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But, I mean, he's got one more contracted.
Yeah.
He could get... and regardless, he could get out of it. You know
I imagine there's a tanty clause.
I'm sure there
is. If he throws a tanty, he's allowed out.
Do you think he's done?
Yeah, because his arc is finished.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, they're not going to... They wouldn't give him a standalone where he does a mission and then he's done.
No.
They would want they'd want another 3-movie arc, I would think.
Yeah, that's right.
Or at least another 2-movie. I don't think he's going to want to do it.
Because he walked away at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
He met a girl and he didn't kill his brother or something.
Yep,
Was that what happened?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and look...
He got a great discount on printing.
He
On
certainly
A4
did.
printing, black and white.
Black and white, that's right. But look, I like him. I know you feel the same. His Bonds were never better than Casino Royale.
Correct.
They had their moments, but I know you thought they were like rapidly declined in quality.
I agree, yeah.
Like in all of them.
With myself.
Yeah.
You said that I said that. And so
you
now I'm
agreed
agreeing
me
with it.
saying
Yeah.
the thing I said that you said.
Yeah.
Look, it's probably not true, but I wouldn't put it past Sony to like entertain this idea because look, Sony they make some decisions, Mason.
That's true.
From top
You're right.
to bottom, there is some nonsense going on there. And I can give you an example of one.
Yes.
we finally got on the press screening list for Sony.
Hooray!
And they said, "Oh, look, we don't normally do this because we prioritize print media."
That's going on the next
Yes,
150 episode. That's going on the 300th episode. James' spectacular reel.
But yeah, they prioritize print media.
Yeah, okay.
Which is insane. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that print, like, we do better than print media. Most print media, I'm sure we don't. But, like, you must recognize that is a ridiculous thing to say.
People wake up in the morning and they check Twitter for news. They don't wake up in the morning and drag themselves to the front door
Yeah.
and look at a newspaper.
And then yell at their neighbor if there's any news. Any news! I do that, but, you know. I'm
Oh,
old
Daniel
school.
Craig, 150 million, you say? What kind of a face would that be? Oh, all right.
Interesting.
Very good. Yeah, I mean...
And then you look at what happened with the email leaks. But you know what? I'm sure if they were leaked, any studio had their emails leaked, I'm sure there'd be a lot of, like, weird, crazy
Oh, absolutely,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get to become a movie executive by making a series of insane decisions that somehow pay off.
Yeah, that's right.
Every executive who made crazy decisions that didn't pay off don't work there anymore.
Correct.
It's just people who have fallen upwards.
It's just John Peters.
It's just John Peters over and over again, producer of 1989's Batman. But yeah, but from all accounts, if you were James Bond for more than a movie, it is just a painful slog from beginning to
It
end.
seems that way. Except for Brosnan. Brosnan seemed to love it.
Yeah.
Even though his Bond films weren't good. But he seemed to be genuinely gutted when he lost it.
But I think you need someone who's fresh and enthusiastic, and you want that enthusiasm and freshness to be stripped away over the course of several years.
Right.
You want them to come in super fresh and enthusiastic.
Correct.
You want the British media and the tabloids to crush them for not being the perfect epitome of Bond.
Yes.
For months and months and months before the first movie comes out.
And it's generally a pretty good one.
Yeah, and then
The
you
first
then you
outing,
want
yeah.
them to be kind of a bit of a downer
Yep,
because
yep.
of that, but then the first movie's pretty good, and then you want a rapid decline in quality.
And then you fire Martin Campbell immediately, even though he seems to direct the best ones.
That's what you want.
I don't understand what they're doing. But you got to remember also the Bond franchise lies with the Broccoli family and their
And they're human broccoli hybrids.
correct.
They don't
And
know
they
anything.
they do a pretty good job, but they're very particular about who they get and how they do it and controlling the brand, which I understand. I mean, it's a family legacy.
Uh-huh.
But hey, who knows, Mason? I want to lie the like Suave Bond. Like I know people are saying Tom Hiddleston. I don't really particularly want Tom Hiddleston. But,
He's too oily.
he's pretty bloody oily, mate.
Look, you know what? He's not... He doesn't always have the Loki hair.
No.
But I always picture him with the Loki hair. And he's very oily.
That's right. Yeah. So you know how you kind of...
He and Taylor Swift broke up. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't even know they were going out. Or maybe I did. I don't know. It's not important.
Doesn't that enter into your mind while you dream?
Probably.
That's how gossip gets in your head now.
My neighbour yelled it to me once, actually, I remember.
Oh, yeah?
When I was checking the news.
What kind of face did he make?
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Okay, Mason. You saw the Underworld Blood Wars trailer?
Yes, or did I? How about this?
Yeah.
I'll tell you some things that happened in the trailer, and you tell me whether I saw it or I'm just making them up. Okay, you ready?
Oh, God, all right.
Okay, here we go.
Did you just watch this?
Who knows if I did?
Okay, because I watched this like 5 days ago.
Okay, all right. It's largely blue and grey. There's a lot of
It's a given.
there's a lot of like blue stone walls,
Yes.
and it's could be inside a well of some sort. Kate Beckinsale's wearing a black leather catsuit.
Yep.
There's a shirtless wolf man, and he's got lots of like he's a man, but he's shirtless, and he's wearing like a fur vest, and he's got facial hair, and he goes like like that.
Right.
There's Wolfman, there's lichens and vampires charging at each other.
Okay, yep.
Kate Beckinsale machine guns through a wall or a floor and falls through it.
Right, good, yep.
Scott Speedman's in it.
Is he?
Did I watch the trailer, or did I just remember previous movies?
You know what? The trailer, whether or not you watched it or not,
Uh-huh.
it took me like 30 seconds to realise that they were showing footage from the old ones.
See?
If you've seen it, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
see?
I'm like, when is this? I don't hate him either. I'm just
Uh-huh.
where are we at with this?
Yeah, right?
Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But maybe what if
All those things
what if
you
it was
said.
new footage? What was old footage? I
Yeah,
genuinely
exactly.
don't know.
Yeah, I think the first 30 to 40 seconds was old footage. It was
Okay.
just like, do you remember the Lycan War? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sort of, I guess. What I like the premise. I like the idea that they're different,
I don't like the premise.
but I like the way that there's strength differently. Like the vampires are faster, not as strong, but they're genuinely smarter.
yeah, and also they're stronger. They're still wildly superhumanly strong,
Yes.
and they've got technology and
Yeah,
crazy cool
and the
guns.
werewolves don't.
They've got nothing.
They're more kind of vagabonds.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of this arms race. They're one's shooting bullets that fire light, and the other one's shooting silver bullets that melt, that have liquid, whatever.
Well, I hate the premise, and I hate everything about it.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying there's something good that could be done with it, and they're all
Putting them into the bin.
yeah, and they're all just kind of okay, I guess. Mm-hmm. Have you seen all of them?
Who knows? Have
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen the first one.
I don't know if I've seen two. I've definitely seen the prequel. I've seen the first one.
with Hirona Mitra in place of...
No, that's three.
Oh, that's
a
three.
prequel.
Okay.
And where they get back the dude from who interviewed Nixon in the Nixon movie.
Scott Speedman.
Yeah, Scott Speedman. And it's set in the past. And then four's the one where she finds out she has a kid
Oh.
or something.
Can
And
vampires have kids in this universe?
probably, I guess, if she had a kid. She had one with Scott Speedman, who was also a half vampire, half werewolf blue man. Yeah. And Bill Nighy got his... Not Bill Nighy. Yeah, he's Bill Nighy.
Yeah.
I think of Bill Nye. Bill Nighy got his face cut off or something.
Huh.
I don't remember. Mason, let's do another thing.
Okay.
James Cameron says Avatar 2 will be about family,
All right.
and it will follow
Vin
Jake.
Diesel
Correct.
and The Rock.
Michelle Rodriguez is. Yep. Who else? I was going to say Paul Walker. He's dead,
He's dead, isn't he? Yeah.
Anyway, it'll follow Jake and Natiri and their children.
Huh.
So it's going to be a sprawling family saga spanning many movies.
Huh. So all that machinery works then.
Apparently
In,
so.
in his new
In
Avatar
his
body.
weird clone body. Yeah,
Huh,
yeah.
There you go.
He also said, Cameron, they haven't moved the date. Because remember, this was going to go up against one of the Star Wars
I don't
movies
remember that, but
and
yes.
be killed horribly.
Uh-huh.
But he said, if we have to move the date, we will.
Right.
You probably should move it.
Move the date, move the date. Nobody cares about Avatar. Nobody's cared for like 15 years. Wait, 2009.
2009, yeah.
7 years.
Feels like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, Cameron generally makes good films.
Yeah.
Avatar's not for me, but I like pretty much everything else that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out whether he's gone insane when this
Yes.
first one comes out. Because
Maybe he'll prove us wrong.
I want him to, and you know what? He's the kind of guy that could.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie of his that kind of comes out, people doubt.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of battling against the odds when he's making these $1 million
Yeah,
movies.
he's such a battling billionaire, isn't he? He's just a young plucky billionaire with his own submarine, just trying to make his way in this harsh, unforgiving world, isn't he? You know. God, I'm really in his corner.
I'm glad you are. But if you look at, like, people thought Titanic was going to be the next Waterworld,
That's true.
and he got fired off one of the Piranha movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he made Aliens after Alien. Like, that's a tough bloody gig. So, you know, he's done some pretty spectacular stuff, but he also liked Terminator Genesis.
Yes, he did.
So but I still maintain that he saw the first 15 minutes and then went,
Me too.
this
yeah.
looks good.
Yeah. mhm.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So rehearsals have started for Avengers Infinity War, which begins filming later this year. The Russo brothers released a image and it had Josh Brolin or James Brolin. Picture me Brolin. Mocap.
It's probably both
suits.
Brolins, right?
I guess so. Just
'Cause
stacked
he's-
on top
yeah,
of each
Thanos
other.
is really big.
I guess so. I thought, my understanding was they were going to do an actual physical suit,
Uh-huh.
but it looks like he was in a mocap thing.
Okay.
So I guess they're not doing that.
Maybe they're going to do partial because now you know how
Yeah.
you see, anytime you see like a Civil War behind the scenes,
Yeah.
it's Robert Downey Jr. wearing half the Iron Man
Yeah,
suit
yeah.
and then just red track pants with
Sure.
with the mocap lines
That's
down.
right.
It's probably that.
But this was full mocap.
Oh,
Because in the first Avengers, when you see him, the actor who played him, that was a little bit of CGI, but that was
yeah. mhm.
mostly practical. And then when he turned up in Guardians, it was like that weird purple Sultana man sitting in a chair. That was such an underwhelming reveal.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
and that's a great movie, but it was just kind of like, and here's Thanos.
I forget he's in it most of the
yeah,
time. Mhm.
yeah. But great, it's underway. Avengers movies are pretty good generally, I
They're
guess.
pretty good generally, aren't they? They're pretty
So-
good. I give them a solid. On average, I give them a solid 7.
Yeah,
probably. Solid
and
7.
and it's the Russo brothers, so
Yeah, cool.
from that perspective, that looks really good.
Hey, here's some Marvel news.
I'm
I don't know if
excited.
you have it written there, but since we're speaking about Marvel, did you see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider found footage?
I did not.
Okay.
I was in talks to do an ad for them.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, that's right.
It didn't end up happening.
Oh, so we can rubbish this?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
sure. I didn't
Because-
see it. What did it
Well,
look
see,
like?
the thing is it's...
The thing was, I was never going to say, I love this show. I was just
Yeah.
going to be like,
You should check it out.
It definitely comes out this date.
Yeah, uh-huh. But basically, because the premise is... Because
So a lot of people have said they love it. Like, it
Yeah.
got a lot better. Anyway, sorry,
Well,
go
see,
on.
yeah, no, that's right. Well, because people tweeted at me, and it's on YouTube, and it's like Ghost Rider found footage, and I'm like, oh, you know, because sort of found footage is sort of the domain of horror movies, like
Sure.
you know, your Blair Witch and your Paranormal Activity and what
Yeah.
have you, and I'm like, oh, this is a fun viral thing. Like Ghost Rider's kind of horror,
Yeah.
it'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
It just looks like they got the intern to do it. Like there's a little bit of fire.
Is
You
it
see
a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a bit of fire in the foreground.
Yeah.
And then you see a car, just a regular black car, just drive off, and somebody's like, "It's him." That's it. That's the whole thing.
You can't see his head?
Don't see anything.
That's not very
It
good.
genuinely feels like they just had the car on the set. They had a burning trash can, and they went, "Just do that.
Yeah.
It'll be fine."
Do we light this trash can on fire?
It's no good.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, maybe this will be what'll turn me around, and I'll be back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Would you like to have
This is
seen him
not
go
it.
past the camera and you see the burning skull in the car?
Anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, maybe, I'm glad you turned around, Mason.
Yeah, me
Tune
too.
in, I want to say Monday, I don't know.
Probably Monday,
15th.
7 p.m., 8 p.m. Central.
Probably.
Probably that.
Yeah. There you go, there's some free promotion.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good work, everybody.
What may or may not be the right day or time.
The Shocker. You see those images?
I've seen them.
What'd you think? Yes.
Oh,
the-
you mean for Spider-Man?
that's
Okay,
that's
right.
the
Yeah.
international symbol, yes.
Yeah.
You saw that. A lot of people are saying, How do his electric powers work, Mason?
He doesn't have
They're not
electrical
electric.
powers. The Shocker's vibration powered or something.
He'll shoot it's a concussive blast.
It's a concussive
or something
force or
like
something,
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
He was always my favorite villain to beat up in those Spider-Man games on PlayStation 2.
Why's that?
Because he's the biggest prick. He was always like, I hate your Spider-Man. And I was like, yeah, what are you? You're a jerk, mate.
Wow.
That's what I was like.
Wow.
Yeah. God, that takes me back. What a great memory
Oh.
to share
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think?
Looks pretty good. What he's got kind of got like a it's kind of like a hobo kind of vibe to him.
Well, that's kind of how they do these things. If you look at like Batroc the Leaper,
Yeah,
they'll
uh-huh.
take the dumbest costume of all time
Uh-huh.
and then be like, "That's not so bad, I guess."
yeah.
Did you want it more quilty? Was it not quilty enough for you?
Now that I think about, no, he seems like because the Shocker. I don't know. He's the comic book version. Yeah, thank you. You've done that. You've done the international symbol for the Shocker. He doesn't really need all the quilting,
Isn't it to protect him from the concussive
but it's
blast?
always facing this way. It's always facing out.
Surely there's some reverberation.
I guess that's true.
What if it bounces off a wall and hits him?
Oh yeah, that would be pretty
Or a
dangerous.
frying pan.
Yep.
So he needs to be ready
One
for
of those
that.
one of those parabolic mirrors in like a shopping mall, so you can see around the corner.
What do you think
can
of
watch out for
those?
thugs.
Yeah.
In a shopping
Do
mall.
you think those have ever saved anybody?
No.
Yeah, probably not. Great.
Yeah, great.
Spider-Man's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill have hinted at a panel of some description. Short for description.
Okay, I was just going to say.
I'm bringing it back.
It's going to ask for clarification. Clarification. It's going to ask for some clarification there.
They've hinted towards Hush and Death in the Family being done as animated story arc film properties.
Okay.
So we just had the Killing Joke. Have you got around to it yet?
Nope.
Fair enough. And I know you like the ones that are written specifically for.
I don't like the adaptations.
You don't like?
of
See,
it.
I
don't
like the
direct
adaptation.
adaptations.
I think I'm coasting on Red Hood though. 'cause
Yeah,
I
right.
enjoyed Red Hood
Because you
so
mention that one
much.
every time, and
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
say name another one, and you're like,
I like. You know what? I also
here it comes.
enjoy The Dark Knight
Yes.
Returns. I
Okay.
like both
Right.
parts, and I like Batman Begins. Not Begins. Year one.
One.
Even though you don't like it.
Don't like it.
But I remember enjoying it. But those from like 2012, I want to say.
Ah,
From a
ancient
while
history.
Back. Yeah. So
God, do you also enjoy the invention of the wheel?
it was alright. I
It's
mean,
good, isn't it? It's
it's-
very
I
convenient
can't
now, isn't
complain,
it? Yeah.
It's done a lot of good work.
Oh, and you enjoy the bloody polio vaccine?
Yeah, man. That's again.
It's great.
That's
You're
something
right. It
that
is
I
great. Yeah. We've benefited greatly from it, actually.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's killed so few people I know. To its detriment, in a way.
Wow.
Some people that I'd on Facebook basically.
Yeah, I
You
know.
what
Right?
I'm
They,
talking
did, they did too many crunches or something. That's why you
right.
hate them.
That's correct. Yeah, but you haven't read Death in the Family, have you? Because you haven't read much of the new 52 Batman arc.
Wait, is there a new Death in the Family arc?
I might be thinking of the newer one where the Joker. Hang on, let me find this out.
I think they're talking about adapting the
But they
Death
kind
in the
of
Family
they
from
did
way
it
back
in Red.
in the day.
They did it in Red Hood though.
Oh, yeah, but there's a lot of crossover here.
That's true. There is a lot of
Yeah.
crossover.
All the animated movies are basically set in different universes.
Sorry, it's called Joker: Death of the Family. I apologize. I think
okay.
that's what it actually is, but
Okay.
I may or may not be
And
wrong.
what is that about?
Well, the Joker basically kidnaps a whole lot of all the Batman's family
Okay.
and is like
Alfred?
Alfred included.
Commissioner Gordon.
No,
The police chief from the 1960s series. What was his name?
Pat Goodman. I don't know.
Okay, great. No, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and because the Joker, it's basically the Joker's last shot at Batman in the new
Aunt?
52.
What's the aunt's name?
It's where he's got his face cut off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know, Mildred.
Aunt Harriet.
Yeah, yeah, and you know the one where Joker's got his face cut off. You would have seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that one, yeah.
And because he thinks that Batman's strong, Batman's always been better without his family because it means that he doesn't rely on other people and he's
Yeah, okay,
he's
sure.
his own man and whatever.
Yeah.
And who needs family when you can cut your own face off? That's what my dad says. You're into it? Hush. He fights Superman.
You know what? I would be into it if only to see how they translate the Jim Lee art into animation.
Probably not that good. That's
Yeah,
pretty
see?
good art.
I think they're going to do like that kind of...
Yeah, the Killing Joke was a bit spotty.
Yeah.
Some of it looked really great, but it was a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Jim
inconsistent.
Lee's art, has it ever translated? Can you think of an animated adaptation of that?
No.
No. Because remember when they did a Wildcats adaptation
Did they?
back in the day, and it's just
Okay.
sort of that generic it'd be hard to capture him.
Yeah. That was what was great about the Batman series, the animated Batman series. Very simplistic.
Yep.
But it allows for a lot of fluidity and movement, and you fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I don't know. Because Hush is it's an intriguing storyline that does not have a good payoff.
Because the villain is
the only new character introduced in the series.
That's right.
You think it's going to be somebody good?
Aunt Harriet.
It's Aunt Harriet.
Yeah.
Chief O'Hara is the character's name. I've remembered.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. So great. I mean, good or bad, it'll be one of those, or somewhere in the middle.
Might be that one.
All right
Are
then.
you in a rebirth? What's going on there?
I mean, I've been reading it, yeah, but I've been reading Superman, Batman, and I'm gonna start on some other stuff soon.
Superman's got a kid now. How's the kid working out?
You know what? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of not that I didn't like it. None of the new 52 Superman really did it for me.
Okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that this son of Superman, does he feel like a character that's going to exist for a long time? Or does he feel like a character they're going to erase next time they reboot the universe?
He feels real, and
Okay.
yeah, I think he works really well.
Okay, that's positive.
And there's some kind of like his power levels kind of fluctuate because he's half human.
Yep.
And the Eradicator shows up and is all like, "This is a pure Kryptonian," or whatever.
how does the Eradicator look these days? Is he the hooded one, the robot?
Nah,
the
man,
robot
he's
one?
the '90s one with
Really?
big sunglasses and all.
No.
It's not the same. I don't think it's the same Eradicator, but it's like the same model. I think.
Okay.
I'd have to look into it.
It's
yeah.
glasses Eradicator. It's
Yeah,
not
man.
robot Eradicator. Okay.
Which do you prefer?
Robot Eradicator.
You don't know nothing,
Yeah,
mate.
I know. Okay, Rebirth.
Yeah.
Here's a question: have they addressed the fact? Have they addressed the Watchmen aspects of it recently?
Not outright. I
Okay.
don't believe. Yeah.
All right,
I think
so
they're
that's still
kind of
coming.
dancing around it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sure. All right.
I don't know. I just whenever they relaunch all these books,
Yeah.
there's too much.
Yeah.
I can't read 40 fucking DC titles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just not happening.
But it's sort of they're now geared towards people who want to do that. Who are like, all right, this is my thing, and I'm committed to and they know that.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we'll do it. So,
I
but
just don't-
there should be stuff for casual readers. I think.
Yeah. And I think that's where like the Batman, Superman stuff, they generally kind of stick to
Yeah,
that.
I
And
think
your
then that's
Wonder
probably
Woman
why
and
you're on
whatever.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's because I like from years and years and years they've always said, okay, in this undefined future, Superman will leave Earth and Superman 2, his son, will take over.
Yeah.
And they've never actually gotten there.
Right.
So this feels like
So this might be it.
This feels
Okay.
like positive change in that they're like,
Certainly.
okay, well we'll let this universe move forward slowly.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And his what's his son's name?
John?
Yeah, it's John. No, what's his father's name? Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Live by Night, the Ben Affleck gangster movie.
Oh, yes.
And the only reason I bring it up is because he is doing the next Batman movie, obviously, and is Batman. He's the best part.
He's portraying Batman. He's not actually Batman.
Thank you. He's movies are confusing because they turn different characters, different people.
I know, right?
You know-
yeah.
you get it, yeah?
But he looked like Batman in that last
He
one.
had the thing.
He had the costume on.
and the gadgets.
He had the voice.
He did have the voice.
He's Batman.
Yeah, that was modulated.
Alfred. Alfred, where's it come, Alfred?
Anyway, in this one, Ben
Yes.
Affleck's being a gangster, but pretend.
Oh.
In the 30s.
I was going to say, he's learned a lot of money. Why has he turned to a life of crime?
And what did you think of it?
Looked pretty interesting.
See, I was kind of like, this feels generic-y, gangster-y.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big 1930s kind of gangster guy. It's not really my... Like, there was that gangster squad from last
Yeah,
year.
sure.
And C and a bunch
Have
of
you
other
heard about the
stuff.
Hat Squad?
No.
There's a series, I think it's from the late 90s. It's like a cop show called The Hat Squad.
Right.
And it's about these three brothers who were raised by like an old-timey detective, and they're in the modern era, and they all wear hats. They all wear like fedora style hats.
Is
so
it
they're called
good?
The Hat Squad. How could it possibly be good? I've not seen it. I'm just trying to find somebody else who's seen it.
Okay. Well, bloody tweet at Mason
If
at
you've seen the
Wikipedia
Hat
Brown.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it good?
Yeah.
We know it's not, but
Yeah.
we'd love
Try
to
and
hear your
convince me
take.
in 100. You've got 140 characters minus my name to convince me that it's good.
If you think it's good.
If you think it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think it was a particularly well cut trailer. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, I don't think that doesn't really bode poorly for the Batman movie because
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got talent, and even great directors kind of miss every now and then.
Director, speaking of directors, interestingly, it said from the director of The Town and Argo.
Yeah.
That's you, Ben Affleck.
That's him.
It should say Ben Affleck.
It should. Well, he probably didn't cut the trailer.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did, Mason. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just feel...
It should say from the director of Argo and The Town, and then cut to a still of him, and then a flashing thing that says, this guy. It's this guy. This guy.
This man here.
He's not really a gangster.
No,
He's
don't
just a
worry
guy
about
pretending
it.
to be a gangster.
Yeah. But yeah, fine. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
And this is leading into all the DC news for this week, Mason.
Oh.
So, first of all, Mel Gibson came out and rubbished Batman Superman. I can read this verbatim.
Great. Who cares? First of all, who cares what you think, Mel? Is this funny?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
cool.
so.
But I mean, first of all, it's been out for... How long's it
March.
been out? Yeah.
Much of this year.
Well done jumping on the bandwagon, Mel Gibson.
Maybe he just got it. He
Yeah,
just
probably,
saw it. Yeah.
You know what? He probably saw like his kids were watching it or something like
Right,
that,
right.
and he walked past.
Right.
He's like, "What's this rubbish?"
I'm drunk. What is this?
Yeah.
If you're spending outrageous amounts of money, 180 million or more.
180 million.
180. Well, he's
That's what we call
Australian,
it in
isn't he?
Australia, yeah.
Actually, he's not Australian. We don't want him. I don't know how you make it back after the taxman gets you and after you give half of it to the exhibitors. And then he said, what did they spend on Batman v Superman that they're admitting to? And it's a piece of shit.
It's pretty good.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson says it like it is, even
Yeah.
if what he says is not always accurate.
No.
But do you think he's wrong by saying why are they spending this much money on this movie and it not being that good?
Absolutely, he's right. Yeah.
Well, that's the first time
On
anybody's
everything.
ever said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, you got to look at this. A movie isn't $180 million and then it's done. Like, I mean, and you get the return from the box office. There's obviously DVD and digital downloads and merchandising and toys for kids and whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Toys for adults.
Toys for adults. And you're building the universe. So I think the return isn't just in the movie itself. Yeah, it should have done a lot better. It should have cracked $1 billion, and it didn't. So he's right. He's
Isn't that
right.
astounding to say? This should have cracked $1 billion.
Yeah, it should have though.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially when you look at the opening weekend, if it had been, if that had been good word of mouth, it would have cracked $1 million. I mean, if Civil War can,
That's true.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Mel Gibson.
Anyway, you tell it like it is, Mel Gibson, about movies and... Doesn't
Go
matter.
on. You don't
doesn't-
wanna-
No, I don't want to. No. I was thinking about it, then I decided not to.
it's probably for the best.
Yeah. Somebody will put it into the clip show.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know the thing about the Jews. No.
So Jeff Johns has also come out and said, he's in charge of all things DC movies now.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
He's their Kevin Feige, but we hasn't really had an opportunity to we haven't seen what he's done yet because
Yeah.
they only kind of promoted him after Batman Superman didn't do as well as they would have
Yeah,
liked. And they were like, look, we know your role is overseer, but we want you to actually do it now. Like,
Right.
for real. But he said, mistakenly in the past, I think the studio has said, DC films are dark and gritty, and that's what makes them different. That couldn't be more wrong. It's a hopeful and optimistic view of life. Even Batman has a glimmer of that in him. If he didn't think he'd make tomorrow better, he'd stop. Do you think he would stop?
No, I think he'd keep going.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, though? So
That's
he's,
very lofty, I feel.
what, to be like,
Just the whole thing he said.
there's a glimmer of hope in these DC
Yeah.
Do you feel the hope?
I think he should have just said, we're going to make better movies from now on.
We hope.
I know what I'm doing.
Do I?
Yeah, maybe I don't.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, I'm glad someone's running it.
Yeah.
And he seems like a good choice. It's interesting that he said that the studio in the past have said, dark and gritty is what make these films different. And they always kind of denied that, but that is clearly what they were doing. They were like, people like Nolan and people didn't like Green Lantern, so let's just try and do that.
But that's because people like people being thrown off fire escapes and breaking their legs. They like that.
That's true.
Dark and gritty or hilarious, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they dislike people being punched into space with big green fists.
In an alley.
And then they're like, we didn't like that because did the guy land or what?
He didn't land,
He
Mason.
just flew into
He
space.
flew into space.
What happened in Green Lantern?
Yeah. So, again, this doesn't mean anything to me until something comes out.
Right.
So, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah, a couple
I
of
hope it's
years.
good. Well, next year. We'll
Yeah.
get Wonder Woman, then we'll get Justice League, and then we'll know, Mason.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup has been cast as Barry Allen's father in the Flash movie.
That's right.
I think that's great casting.
Yeah.
John Wesley Shipp plays him in the TV show,
Correct.
which I think is also great
Dawson's
casting.
dad.
Dawson's dad.
You know what? DC have made their mistakes in the past, but they've never missed a trick on casting Barry Allen's dad in a thing. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
You're
it's always
absolutely
great.
right.
Always knocked it out of the park every time.
Mamma mia. Yeah, so that's pretty great. Billy Crudup has been in a comic book movie before.
Watchmen.
He was Watchmen.
Yeah.
He was Watchmen.
I mean, he wasn't the abs, obviously.
No.
He wasn't the abs or the dong. That was somebody else.
I think the
who
dong was
died.
him.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy died, didn't he?
Yeah, uh-huh.
The body double for Dr. Manhattan. That sucks. But yeah, great. Good casting. And the other huge bit of casting news this week, Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Manganiello. That's how you pronounce it, Mason.
Oh.
He is Deathstroke.
I've been saying Manganiello.
Well, you're an idiot.
Oh.
And not just for this reason, for other reasons, which I could name, but I won't, because we're going to move it along.
No, do it for the clip show. Here we go.
Fine, you do too many crunches on Facebook, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Every day, do you have to?
Yeah. It's for every one of our returned soldiers. I do a crunch or something.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
I respect you in that sense. But yeah, so he was a fan choice for,
Okay,
for
sure.
ages.
Yeah.
And he's been kind of in and out of this DC universe. He was nearly Superman, or he was up very, very close.
Uh-huh.
He was close to Batman, apparently. And now he's Deathstroke, which is kind of
Yeah.
like the bad Batman.
And he was Flash Thompson in Sam
Spider-Man.
Raimi's Spider-Man
He
1,
was.
right?
And what's his name? They've done it. They've got the Raimi trilogy of stealing actors, because they got Commissioner Gordon,
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
They got Joe Manganiello, and they got Froghead.
Tobey Maguire.
No, not Tobey Maguire. But Goblin Boy, Goblin Man, Willem Dafoe. He's an Aquaman.
Oh.
So there they go. They got the Raimi trifecta.
As like a blowfish?
I assume so. Just the
Some
head.
sort of crab man?
Just a green screen suit from the
Yeah.
neck down. Yeah. So good on him, mate. I think that's great casting.
Willem Dafoe would be a good one of those spiny fishes.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he?
Or like a Mexican fighting fish.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
He's good in most of the movies he's in. I think that's all the news, Mason.
Joe Manganiello, what's he been in since? Because I don't know of him anything.
Magic Mike.
Okay.
Probably True Blood. I don't
Right,
know. I think
okay,
he is
yeah.
in True Blood.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I know him from is Flash Thompson, and he doesn't look very Deathstrokey in that. So clearly it's been
That's been. Have you
I know.
seen him recently?
well, see that I have
enormous.
now,
He's
but
a
like
bus.
that's yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
he's also got that kind of
Yeah,
he's got
he's
that
like-
gruff exterior.
He's old enough. He's like 38 or whatever.
He
yeah.
doesn't look like a 25-year-old high school student
No,
anymore.
he doesn't.
He looks like a grown stubbly man. Is
Correct,
what I'm saying.
correct,
And I'm just
correct.
wondering what the transition was there.
Right. Just
Probably
a lot of crunches.
Just
mate.
living hard.
Living
yeah.
hard, living life,
doing
mate.
crunches,
So there we
alright.
go.
Yeah.
Now, Mason, we've got two sponsors this week.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you were against it, but I said more money, and you said, all right then.
Okay.
Every now and then we
Finally, I can get those braces. I mean, I don't need braces. but
suspenders or like teeth.
No, for my
braces?
teeth. I'm going to get
Okay.
2 sets of braces.
Yep.
One to really mess up my teeth.
Yeah.
And then another set to put them back in place.
That's what we do with podcast money. Because
Braces.
just throw it away, throw it into extreme dental care. Okay, Mac Weldon, Mason.
Yes.
They sell all sorts of bloody good and naturally antimicrobial
He did it.
clothing.
You had to run into it though.
I
there.
did.
Yes. You needed some supporting words before you said it.
It was
I
like when your
noticed.
dad's holding the back of your bike when you're learning to ride. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't know about this.
Uh-huh.
I
and
fell
then
off
you
so
turn,
many
then you
times.
turn around and you go, yeah, I'm doing it, Dad, I'm doing it. And you turn around, he's not there anymore.
And you
'Cause
never
he's at the
see him
pub.
again.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway, they believe in smart.
Some of this money also goes to therapy sessions. I don't know if you know.
Mac Weldon believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and simple shopping. As we know, they've got a fantastic website for ordering. And when we say naturally antimicrobial, it means they eliminate odor. These t-shirts, Mason, they don't have that weird smell that t-shirts sometimes get.
The smell of us.
The smell of us in particular. But they've got a bunch of stuff. You know.
That's
they,
my autobiography, by the way. It's going to be called The Smell of Us.
smell of us. Is it me and you on the cover?
Yeah.
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 So
You're
they-
the smell. I'm holding up my arm, and there's like a green stink cloud coming out, and your face is on it. And I'm giving the thumbs up, and the smell is also giving the thumbs up.
So they deal in underwear, socks, shirts that look good. They perform well too. It's good for working out, going to work, going on dates, just everyday life.
Trim but not tight.
Correct.
Real nice.
And that, you know what they are? They're a great fitting t-shirt. I'm
yeah.
actually wearing one right now under this hoodie.
And people say that, and you're like, well, it depends on what body shape you have. But
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
that's true. Well, you know what? For us trim tight gentlemen,
Yeah, oh.
perfect every time.
Very good.
So if you go to macweldon.com, macweldon.com, and you can get 20% off if you use the promo code planet.
That's us.
Good stuff all around. Mason, we've got a topic for this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I've changed it at the last minute.
Great.
I want to do, just thinking about Ben Affleck, I want to do who has the widest head and face in Hollywood.
Willem Dafoe.
What about John Travolta?
Oh, that's pretty wide.
Ron Perlman, more long than wide.
Yeah, he's more long than wide.
Ray Liotta.
Oh, that's such a wide head.
Javier Bardem.
So wide. What's that movie? And there's a woman. I think it might be. Is it?
Brazil.
It's Brazil.
Yeah.
There's a woman, and she's got all the heads being stretched out.
That's
yeah,
right.
Okay.
Widest head in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Okay, the woman from Brazil.
Okay,
well,
we
now
did
that I guess we could do another topic now that we've
Yeah,
covered
Now
that.
we've exhausted that.
Ben Affleck does have a big head, doesn't he? I mean, he's a big bloke, but he's got a big bloody head on him.
I think a lot of people in Hollywood have big heads.
Because they got small bodies and big heads?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Though I think he is big. I think he's like 6'4" or something.
Mm.
Anyway. Mason, let's talk guilty pleasures.
Oh yeah. Okay, we can do that.
I'm not talking your favorite ice cream, Mason.
Oh.
Put it down. Turn it upside down.
in my
I got-
lap.
Yes.
So I get ice cream in my lap. Oh, all right.
Can't have it.
Oh.
So we thought we'd talk this week about guilty pleasure movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Things that we love that might not necessarily be good.
Okay.
And
Great.
I want to preface this by saying I don't actually believe in guilty pleasures. If you like
Episode
a thing,
over. Here we go.
They're like ghosts, Mason.
Yeah.
They don't exist. No, I mean in the sense, like what you like, man.
Yeah,
If you like a
embrace it.
thing, you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a weird sex thing that hurts somebody. Didn't need to
Sure.
say that. Don't know why I said it. But
We'll edit it out. We're gonna leave it in.
do you know what I mean?
You know, I know what you mean.
Do you feel that way, or
I think you're absolutely right, and I think again we've expressed strong opinions on various things over the course of these. You know, we'll rubbish a movie, but you
Correct.
know what? If you like it, again, it's fine. You're wrong, but that's cool. And we say that as a bit, but at the same time, my opinion of a movie shouldn't affect what you think about
No,
it. If you love it, who cares?
it's very strange when people get upset
Yeah.
that if you don't like a thing. It's
or if you do like a thing,
Or if you
more
do
than
like a
that.
thing, yeah.
More than that, if you're like, I really like this, and like, I've tried to over the last few years to be less about. Well, this is the reason you're wrong about liking that.
Totally.
Great, enjoy
You can
it.
be like, this is the reason I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you can't put that on somebody else,
Yeah.
obviously.
Here's something that and I said I was going to watch it a couple of weeks ago, and I finally got to it, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it actually quite a lot. The reviews haven't been great. I finally watched Hardcore Henry.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and
Fun?
you know what? It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
no point was I like, oh, this because it's
gimmick.
Yeah, this is wearing kind of thin.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing about it, and I understand why people are like, this is no good, because there's nothing to it. Like plot wise, it's a guy, he wakes up, and he gets some cyborg parts put on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then basically the rest of the rest of the movie is like 90 minutes of him either running away from dudes or running at dudes. It's basically a Benny Hill sketch.
Right.
Except with guns instead of boobs for 90 minutes.
Are there any boobs?
Yes, there are boobs
right
now that
then.
I think about it.
Good stuff.
It's fun, and the gimmick didn't wear out, and the action's good.
Do you think that's partly because they went 90 minutes as opposed to being like, let's make this 3 hours long?
Maybe
or
it is more
whatever?
than that.
Yeah?
I'll have a look. I'll
You don't
check
have
right
to.
now.
It's fine.
But it's fun. Everybody, there's some hamming it up, which I really enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Charlton Copley's in it.
Well, he's yeah.
Yeah.
He loves a bit of ham, that
Yeah,
bloke,
that's right.
in the best possible
he's
way.
like, I know what I am.
Yeah.
I'm a guy with a funny accent, and I'm just gonna ham it up. And there's like a kind of a cartoony villain. The effects are mostly pretty good. I had a bloody good time with it, if I'm honest with you.
Good, that's great. I do have it, a digital copy, so I do need to actually get into that.
There's a minigun in it, which you know I enjoy.
How was the minigun?
It's pretty good. Again, nobody's really. Again, I'm waiting for a movie where somebody's really riddled with bullets with a minigun.
Yeah, yeah.
And we couldn't. There's
Not
some
quite
cars.
there.
There's some vans and cars that are riddled with bullets. It's pretty good. Some of the CGI is a little bit shaky.
Sure, but I mean, you got to expect that from the perspective it's shot in.
Yes.
There'd be a lot of, well, not a lot, but there'd be some CGI elements, stuff that you couldn't do in camera.
Yeah,
So I can understand why they kind of did that. I got one for you, and I actually just watched it today.
It's an hour and 36 minutes.
okay, sure. Yeah, that's about.
Yeah, it's a solid,
over.
real good.
I watched this today, and I'd forgotten that I liked it. Or even,
Okay.
I don't even remember if I liked it at the time.
That's a good sign. But you like it now.
I do. The Mask of Zorro, which
Sure,
is the
okay.
first Antonio Banderas one.
Uh-huh.
I think the second one's terrible. I don't even know. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Uh-huh.
But also, I realized watching it today, I fucking love Zorro, man.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
great.
Yeah.
Don Diego de la Vega.
Is there
He's-
another Zorro coming out soon?
Yeah, there's future Zorro coming at some point.
Fioro.
Fioro. It's called like
Zorro.
it's called like Zorro Reborn or something like
Okay.
that.
They should call it Zorro in the future.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Then we'd
and
know.
and they refer to him, they're like, oh no, there's like a bad guy, and he's like, haha, we're going to get away with this. And then somebody's like, sir, look out, it's Zorro from the future.
Jetbike?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So-
And they're in the future. It's-
Oh, I thought I would like it if he was the only one from the future.
no, it's set in the future, but everybody believes it's the current day, but they refer to him as Zorro from the future. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you seen that movie?
Yes. Is
It's-
it the one where he does the Zorro swipe across, what's her name?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
And a close fall
Yeah,
off.
that's
It's
right.
that
that's,
one,
that's
right?
exact. That's the one. Yeah. The sequel. This was from '98, and the sequel was in like 2005, which was like way too late. Martin Campbell also directed it.
Yep.
Antonio Banderas is not a Latin man, obviously, but he plays the retired or the old Zorro.
He said Antonio Banderas.
Sorry,
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins plays.
Antonio Banderas is the most
he's the- he's
Latin
the-
man.
He is. He plays the retired Zorro who everyone's seen this who kind of gets captured. He Count of Monte Cristo style, which is another great movie. Anyway, it's for another day. But
No, it's for now. We'll get to it in a minute.
no, that's a good movie. That's a legitimately good movie.
Is it the one with
Yes,
Guy Pearce?
It's amazing.
Is it?
I've got another Guy Pearce one on the cards anyway
Okay, great.
for later. But I don't know.
Is it? Hang on, let me think. Let me think of a garbage Australian movie that Guy Pearce is in.
probably a crime one,
Yeah.
or he's in the good crime ones?
He's in that one that's set at the horse races. Remember that
Okay.
one?
Is Bart Cummings in it?
Maybe.
Probably.
I'll find out. I'll think of it. Don't you worry. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying
But
Mask of
it's
Zorro.
it's very swashbuckling,
Yeah.
and it holds up in the
Is
sense.
it the one they're trying to build a railroad?
No, it's the one where they're using a mine. They're building a mine
That's
in
what I meant.
California. Yeah, sure. Maybe the second one's a railroad. But both of, young Zorro, new Zorro, and old Zorro have their own personal vendettas. And Anthony Hopkins.
That's what you identify with people
I
with vendettas.
absolutely do.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins trains up bloody Antonio Banderas in like his little Zorro cave. And then they go and do them. And also young Zorro teaches old Zorro about honor, even though it was the other way around.
Whoa.
And do you remember the 90s TV show?
Zorro.
It was just called Zorro.
No.
I remember really liking it. It probably wasn't good.
Have you read the Django Zorro?
I've heard it's good. Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's enjoyable
Okay.
to
Yeah.
some extent.
Sure, to some extent, yeah.
It's a bit long.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a comic book.
It's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, get on the bloody Mask of Zorro or
Okay.
Legend of Zorro, whichever
alright.
the one from 98 is. What else you got?
Hang on. Can I just find this? I'm gonna find this Guy Pearce film set at the races, if I could. If you'll bear with me.
Sure.
It's early. The Hard Word. Remember that one?
Nah.
Rachel Griffiths is in it.
Nah.
That one?
I'm thinking of Getting Square.
You think you're getting square? Exactly.
another-
Joel Edgerton is in it.
Of course he is. I didn't think he wouldn't be. What? Let me guess. That's from like 2004.
It's from 2002.
Okay, close enough.
Vince Colosimo is in it.
Of course he is.
Three
The poor man's Eric Banner.
Three fraternal bank robbers languishing in jail discover a profitable, if not dodgy, way to spend their time. Crime can most certainly pay if you know what I mean. That's in quotes.
I
so
guess
presumably
I
that
know
happens in the
I mean, I guess like is that your guilty
when sex
pleasure?
when sex and greed rear up between the good crims and the bad cops, the consequences are both bizarre and fatal. It's not very good. It's not my guilty pleasure. I can't remember what happens in it.
What is your bloody? What's another one you got?
Oh, well, speaking of Zorro, and they get a bad rap on this show because I rubbish them all the time, but I like,
Yeah.
Speaking of old-timey stuff that shouldn't be brought back, The Shadow with Alec
Oh,
Baldwin.
you like that? I only remember the bit where he fights the CGI knife. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy it, because I only remember the bit where he fights the CGI knife.
It's got a face that bites
Yeah,
him.
an angry face, yeah.
I remember.
It's fun. It doesn't take itself that seriously.
Prosthetics. I think he did that because he turned down Batman.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that did not do well.
Mm.
I don't think it was a CGI knife, though. I don't think you could blame it on the CGI knife.
No, I mean, the CGI knife did rubbish the movie in the press.
Is Kim Basinger in that?
No, I think it's a poor man's Kim Basinger.
Okay, because it's the
Yeah.
Batman bloody...
Let's look it up.
Because they were married, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, such a 90s marriage.
Shut up. Was it
Alec,
just...
Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. But no, it's great. It's good fun.
Is it? When was the last time you've seen it?
Oh, when it was on home video, presumably.
The first time I saw that was in the
Yeah.
late 90s
Uh-huh.
at one of my friend's house, who I presume must have been rich
Uh-huh.
because he had a laser disc
Wow, all
and
right.
he had The Shadow on laser disc.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Or maybe it was 97. But yeah.
It's an all-star cast.
Go.
Bloody Ian McKellen's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the guy who makes the atom bomb in it.
Okay.
Peter Boyle is in it, the award-winning Peter Boyle.
It's Peter Boyle.
He's the granddad in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Tim Curry is in it.
Tim Curry's in it.
All the greats. It's real good.
I'm looking at the cast here. Yeah, this has got some people in it,
It's
Mason.
solid, good fun. Again, should they keep making them? No, because nobody watches them. But if this cast were to get back together, minus of course Peter Boyle, who's no longer with us,
Who's dead.
and could do some sort of live reading of The Shadow in my house, I would appreciate that. If you wouldn't mind.
Steve Heitner is in it, who you may know as Banyan from Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, the guy who played Tatsu's in it from Ninja Turtles.
yeah. Right, yeah.
Great. Mm-hmm. So this is very mystical and oriental, it seems, as well, Mason.
Yes.
It seems a mixing of the arts.
Well, that's where the Shadow got his powers, from the Orient.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was it in like an amulet?
No, in his mind. They're in his mind.
He got an amulet drilled into his mind.
No, he learned the skills. They're in his mind.
Because he could. And I remember he could change his face, but it was a weird prosthetics over it when he
Yep,
did it.
uh-huh.
Because he could not be recognized and he could
can cloud men's
manipulate-
minds. That's
the
his
one.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Great, Mason.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm never going to watch that.
No,
but should I
dude,
watch
give it a whirl. It's fun.
Big hats, right?
So, such big, huge hats.
Great.
Yeah.
He's one that I've talked about recently.
Did you know that the Shadow has a double secret identity?
Like Batman's matches Malone.
No, we'll see, because the Shadow's secret identity is New York socialite playboy Lamont Cranston.
Right.
But he's actually not Lamont Cranston. He's actually Kent Allard, who's like a World War I aviator.
Right.
But he is taken on the idea because Lamont Cranston is always out of town and they look mostly the same. So Kent Allard took
Is
on the...
Lamont cool with this?
Yeah, they met
Okay.
once.
And he's like, whatever.
He might have been like, I'm going to take on your identity, and if you object, I'll kill you because I'm a weird Orient-powered martial arts shadowy madman.
And I have one of the biggest faces in Hollywood.
Yeah, right.
Now he does. at
Triple
least.
whammy.
Yeah.
Oh, he used to be quite narrow.
He was,
you know?
yeah.
Young Alec Baldwin
He
was
still
quite
looks
narrow.
good.
Yeah, so Kent Allard takes on the mantle of Lamont Cranston, and then he becomes the Shadow.
Wow, that is
Double secret identity.
That is complex,
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
And unnecessary. They didn't even put that plot. That plot is not in the movie, but it is in the novelization.
Who is he in the movie? Is he Lamont Cranston?
He's Lamont Cranston.
Okay, so they just went, let's just do him Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Alec Baldwin was like, I will do one secret identity, like Batman, but I will not do a second one.
Well, Bruce Wayne, in a way, has double secret identities.
Because he's real Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
and he's
And he's socialite
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce
yeah.
Wayne. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't threatened a man out of town and stolen his
That's
identity. The
Maybe he
replacement.
has. Maybe Matches Malone lives.
Yeah, you're
Maybe
right.
he lives in the other side of America because he's afraid that Bruce
Batman's
Wayne
going to
will
beat him up.
yeah.
The Replacements is a late 90s Keanu Reeves movie.
Is it a football movie?
It's a football movie. I like football movies
I always
despite knowing
think-
nothing about football.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's a Marky Mark one where he gets drafted in the NFL as like a rookie. There's a bunch of them I like, and I don't know why.
Do you like that movie that has the guy from Lord of the Rings in it?
Lord of the Rings?
No!
Oh, Rudy.
Rudy.
I haven't seen it. I heard that's a good one though. People like Rudy.
I
don't
had
they?
to see it in school, so it's got the stigma of it's a movie I had to see at school, so I hate it.
Did you have to learn about it?
No, I think it might have even just been a rainy day.
A teacher rolled in that rattly TV
Yeah,
on,
that's
on
right.
that weird
yeah,
stand.
with the VCR, and you go, if this is a TV show, this will be okay, but if it's a movie, there's not going to be enough time,
Yeah.
so we'll never see the end of this.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. hmm
I think
They once did that to us with a Tales from the Crypt movie.
Which one?
It's the one where they're all trapped in like a. One person has inherited these ghost hunting powers,
Right.
And they're all trapped in like a school or something.
Okay.
And it starts with a woman like naked having a bath. And we went to an all boys school, and it's
Woo!
yeah, exactly
Love
that.
that,
And they stopped it, and they're like, "You all bloody settle down, and we're not watching this." And I'm like, "We're never going to get to the end of this anyway.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you
We've seen the best bit.
Yeah.
They did that to me with Airborne.
It's Airborne.
It's the rollerblading movie. Jack Black's in it.
What?
Seth Green's in it.
Is this a guilty pleasure?
You know what? Yeah, it's pretty fucking. It's not good.
imagine.
Okay, The Replacement's fine. Yeah, you got another one? Replacements is great. It's a bloody.
Tell me more about it.
They're a replacement NFL team because there's a strike. So
Okay.
Keanu Reeves plays Falco, and he was a former.
Falco from Neverending Story.
Correct. Yeah.
God, all we have's the bloody janitor, and we have this guy who is this big fat guy, and he's not going to be any good, but he'll turn out to be good. He'll be a good blocker, you know. And we have this mystical flying dog monster. That's all we have to make up this team. We're such a
They're up against it, aren't
such a
they?
motley crew, aren't we?
It's got a great cast. John Favreau's in it.
Okay, is he the big fat guy?
No, he's a cop. He's a riot cop or something.
Okay,
a
right.
SWAT dude. Who's the real skinny guy in Notting Hill? The British guy.
Colin Firth.
Yeah, sure. No, he's the lizard. He's the lizard in that Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah,
He's like a
Rhys Ifans.
yeah. He's like a soccer player. Sorry, a football, an English Premier League player. So they've kind of got these specific skills, and so yeah, Falco's this former quarterback who's kind of failed and he's known to choke, and so
Okay.
they bring him back into the game, and he kind of and Gene Hackman's the coach.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's bloody great.
Yeah.
Get into it, Mason.
The movie I'm thinking of is Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, which features Billy Zane,
Love it.
Jada Pinkett Smith, Thomas Hayden Church,
Love it.
who is of course the Sandman and Ned from the TV series Ned and Stacey,
Correct.
and the really drunk guy from Sideways.
Haven't seen it.
Oh wow. Oh, CCH Pounder's in it.
That means nothing to me.
Okay, here's the plot.
Woman takes a bath.
No, who cares? It
Settled
doesn't matter.
out. Oh, it's not even interesting.
That's not. They're in a boarding house and there's a guy and he chases demons and.
Okay,
it doesn't
sure.
matter. I remember enjoying it.
They're
a
a bit
lot.
hit and miss, aren't they?
I think I went and I rented the video later and it was pretty good.
Did you ever see The Storyteller, the Jim Henson Storyteller?
No, I'm aware of it.
That is crazy good.
Okay.
Like I watched some of them recently. They're not all amazing, but there's some really good practical.
Oh, it's a TV
effects.
series?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's. For
Is it
another
all
day.
Jim Henson Creature Shop?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do they all look
No,
kind of
sorry.
Muppety?
There's actually people in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But are all the monsters
Sean
kind of
Bean's in
Muppety?
one of them. Yeah, but in a good way.
Hmm.
You know who's in it?
Who's that?
William Hurt or the other one.
John Hurt.
Yeah, what? John Hurt. That's the
John
one.
Hurt's the one from Brazil.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No, 1984.
I mean, he's not actually from Brazil.
Isn't he? He's
No,
talking about
no, he's
1984. Is
British.
he in Brazil?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. He's in 1984.
Oh, yeah, you're still, yeah.
That's
uh-huh.
why you're getting
Yeah.
confused. Now, this is a good movie, right? But I only say it's a guilty pleasure because I got sprung buying it and I panicked
Okay.
in the early 2000s when this came out. The Iron Giant. It's legitimately great.
That's not a guilty
No,
pleasure.
I know, but the reason I bring it up is because that's a legitimately great animation. Oh, is it? I think it's from 99. Whatever. Anyway, I was buying it,
Uh-huh.
the
Nice.
DVD, and I ran into a guy I went to school with,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Oh, what are you buying this bloody kids movie for?" And I'm like, it's not for me. It's for my niece."
Uh-huh.
I didn't have a niece then, and I still don't have
Still
a
don't
niece.
have a niece
That was
now,
a
right?
lie.
You've begged all your siblings to be like,
Give me a niece
"Please."
to validate this story. So
This guy keeps coming at me on my Facebook page. Every time I post a Crunches video, he's like, "What about that Iron Giant? Yet to see your niece holding that copy of the Iron Giant on DVD."
So anyway, but that's a good movie. But I felt at the time. Now I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, yeah, I like this.
Uh-huh.
Shut up. Anyway, he's a nice guy. Anyway, I don't know. It's not important. Now, is this a bad movie?
Tell me.
No. But the Boondock Saints. Where do you rank that?
No, that's not a good movie.
Okay, sure.
Boondock Saints, the two Irish guys, and
Yeah, the
Billy
Hitman.
Connolly's in it.
Yeah.
And they're just, that's a movie I feel that now,
Yeah.
if you could not go back to that, you would cringe at
really?
that. I feel you would cringe at that movie.
We saw the sequel not that long ago because they released it maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Boondock Saints 2 All Saints Day.
The Boondening.
The Boondening. Yeah.
Keep on Boondening.
Never stop.
Yeah.
Boond on. You don't like
Keep
that
on
movie?
docking.
You don't like that movie?
I'm sure. Look, I'm sure I loved it at the time because
Guns spinning around.
people spinning around. They got a gun in each hand.
Yeah,
They're John Woo in it.
That
You know what I mean?
director like burnt every bridge after
Did
that
he?
because he spent. It took a lot to get this movie released, and then
Of course it would. It's got Billy Connolly in it.
Yeah.
He's a guy who'll sue God.
that's true. He will.
Well, yeah.
Did you see
He'll
that
say
one?
anything.
He will say anything.
He'll storm back and forth across the stage.
yeah.
just talk
tell a
about
wacky anecdote.
Yeah.
But no, I remember it being a lot of fun. But I guess it is a guilty pleasure
Yeah.
if it's not good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't remember the sequel being Crash.
You know what it does have? It has a stereotype, or maybe it doesn't.
Sure.
I was going to say it has Willem Dafoe as a stereotype breaking gay man,
Right.
but maybe it doesn't.
Well, he plays a very aggressive,
He's like, yeah, he's like,
homophobic gay man.
oh, is he homophobic? I can't
No,
remember.
but he openly has sex with men, but he makes fun of them.
Right, okay.
Yeah, at the
Oh,
same
so
time.
see, I'm conflicted.
Well, Mason, I don't know what to tell you. That's for you to decide.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make it a bonus episode.
Great.
Anyway, I remember liking it. You got another one?
I'm trying to think of terrible movies from the 90s then that I enjoy
Sure.
somehow.
Here's one.
All right.
Deep Blue Sea.
You enjoy that movie.
Yeah, man. Sharks that have got their
Smart Sharks.
smart sharks because they were making an Alzheimer's drug when they're manufacturing it in a shark's brain, but in doing so, or testing it.
Couldn't test it on a dolphin. Why
No,
would you?
and in doing so, they made the
Test it
sharks
on, don't test it on a mammal.
super
Test it on a
intelligent.
fish.
I think Stellan Skarsgård gets his arm torn off,
Yeah.
and of course Samuel L. Jackson
Who you think's going to be the main character
gets chomped to
very
bits.
quickly. Yeah, okay, that's fun.
Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, a woman.
Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark's fin. Classic LL Cool J. His best work, I feel.
Potentially.
Maybe.
What do you remember from it?
That's it. It's literally all I remember.
Do you remember the bit where the shark's in the kitchen
No.
and it eats the bird? Eats
You're
his
gonna say
parrot?
burger.
Yeah,
Alright.
it eats a burger. It's a delicious burger. But remember, they fluctuate in size
Uh-huh.
because the sharks are trying to sink the station to get to the people.
Uh-huh.
To climb the fence, to jump
Yeah.
the fence. And Thomas Jane he's a shark wrangler. It's kind of his first breakout role.
Right.
It's kind of spectacular. It's the best Jaws movie that's not Jaws. Except there was that new Blake Lively one, which I
Yep.
haven't seen, but I'm interested in. I love a shark movie. Yeah. Even like Jaws 4, even though it's terrible.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was just thinking, are we doing TV shows as well?
Whatever, man.
Because I was thinking, I'm a big fan of if we're talking about terrible 90s stuff, I'm a big fan of just terrible 90s superheroes, super stuff.
Like a guy in a weird motorcycle suit.
Yes.
That's powered or
Super
whatever.
Force. You
Super
know
Force,
exactly
that's
what I'm
the
going
one
to
that
talk
you
about.
love,
Which
yeah.
was all on YouTube for a while, but then whoever put them up got ratted out and they all got removed.
I don't know who did that, but
Yeah.
you're a prick.
That's right.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
How dare you?
All those, just any kind of, it's all washed out and it
Yeah.
looks weird.
Yep.
And
He
just,
probably plays saxophone by night.
Nightman. Bring back Nightman. And I know they're bad and I will continue to watch them.
You watched the RoboCop TV series, you bought them, I remember. Did you end up...
I watched the TV movies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And?
Oh, they're bad.
Yeah.
That's not a guilty pleasure. They're not enjoyable.
flat out bad?
They're flat out bad.
Okay, sure.
But man, I will. If somebody can find me Super Force on DVD or digital or something,
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna look on YouTube. Right, I'm gonna look on Port Locker. I'll see there.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. We don't endorse that though,
I don't
Mason.
endorse it. No, that's right.
Oh, but
Man.
but it's a pretty good website
So-
that I endorse.
Yeah. In fact, these might come up. Have we talked about? the show we're going to do? We're going to announce the show, the little bonus thing we're going to do.
Yeah, we can talk about that now.
Let's talk about it now.
Sure. What is
We're
it?
we're doing a little. We're gonna intermittently. We're gonna trial out a new.
That's why I picked this topic. I
Yeah.
knew there was a reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
we're
go
gonna
on.
we're gonna trial out maybe an additional short podcast.
Yes.
It's maybe we're gonna do some little animation, some
Yep.
some YouTube
well, not
stuff.
us, some better people.
Some people who are better than
Yeah,
us. Don't
yep.
entrust us with it.
Nah.
We're gonna watch some forgotten gems.
Yes.
Maybe some forgotten terrible stuff, and we're gonna talk about it.
and comics.
And comics.
Yeah, yeah.
TV shows, movies,
Whatever goes.
We're calling it Caravan of Garbage.
Correct. Great
It's
name.
gonna
That was
be.
you.
Thank you. It's gonna be a good time. We've done a couple.
We're hoping to get to 4 and then take a bit of
Try
a
'em
break
out,
because
see
they're
how
a
they
bit
go.
they're a bit to kind of put together because there's some editors and some animation dudes working on them.
Yeah.
And because they're longer videos,
Uh-huh.
they're about 30 to 40-minute podcasts, and then about 20-minute videos because
Yeah.
they're kind of edited down to a reasonable length. But they take a bit to kind of
Yeah.
organize. So we'll do 4, and then maybe we'll never do it again.
Right.
Because no promises, man.
That's right, yeah.
Well, it's just about we'll see how they go.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
I mean, all this stuff is very ripe.
Yeah.
For that. We won't spoil what
we
we've done.
shouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I saw something I had planned. I had always planned to see from the 90s. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes,
it's
you
no
did.
good,
Yeah.
but it would be on this list. Just whatever I've not put on there on this podcast. That's what's going to be
bloody it.
my first episode of that.
Have a guess.
Yeah.
Tweet at Mason and maybe he'll tell you. He won't tell
Big
you.
man, Superforce Viper, which was just
Oh,
an
right.
ad
I
for the
remember
Dodge
Viper.
Viper,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was a police supercar that
Yep.
could turn into all variants of the Dodge Viper. Like all their available models at the time. Oh,
That's spectacular.
yeah, right?
Why?
Pretty great.
Yeah.
Mantis.
Yeah, the guy who had the weird head, like the helmet head, didn't he? It was like a.
That was Superforce.
What was Mantis? Then?
Mantis was a man in a wheelchair who had a
Oh,
super suit
that's
and
right.
he could
run about.
he could run about. Exactly, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good stuff. Did you ever see Guy Pearce's The Time Machine?
You have a very loose definition of the term guilty pleasure, I feel.
You don't like the movie The Time Machine?
No.
Guy Pearce.
Uh-huh. Does it not? Does it also have? Does it have some sort of British pop star in it?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh.
Samantha Mumba, I want to say.
Samantha Mumba, yeah, it
But I
is
might be
Samantha
wrong.
Mumba, yeah.
Yeah, so he...
The female Craig David.
Correct.
That's not true. I don't know.
So it's basically a retelling of the H.G. Wells classic,
Uh-huh.
but it's real schlocky.
Uh-huh.
And he's kind of this, he's this dude who's trying to prevent the death of his fiancée.
Mm-hmm.
So he does it again and again and again. He planned, that's the reason he builds a time machine, sorry.
Uh-huh.
And in doing so, he realizes that he can't actually change the past.
Uh-huh.
Because if he changed the past, that means he'd never have built the time machine to go back to
Uh-huh.
save her. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes.
So he can't, it's a paradox. So basically, and then he
That is a paradox.
he gets knocked out and he goes like millions of years in the future, and it's this weird kind of weird segregated society where there's like sort of primitive people, but there's also underground
The Morlocks?
telepathic monsters
Uh-huh.
and more. Yeah, Jeremy Irons is an albino mind reader or something. It's insane, but great, or is it?
No. Just want to be clear. No,
I
the
like
answer's
it.
No.
That's the point of guilty pleasures, Mason.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed
that's
to
fine.
like him.
What I'm doing here is I'm testing your ability to enjoy a guilty pleasure film or TV show.
Right. Well, me running through that plot in my head, I
Yep.
stand by it.
Great.
What else you got?
I should stress that Superforce is about an astronaut who comes back to Earth and discovers that his
With
brother,
Super Force.
who was a cop, has disappeared. And then, so he also joins the police force, and then
Superforce.
joining the police force isn't enough to help find his brother. So he goes to the guy who was John Steed in the Avengers TV series, who is dead and lives on a television screen, and his friend builds him a super astronaut suit that he can use to fight crime on a motorcycle. And then it turns out his brother's been replaced with a robot. And then he
Replaced with a robot, or
then he-
is
then-
a robot
No, he was replaced with a robot.
with an actual robot, like a human
yeah,
replica,
correct.
90s robot.
Yeah, and at one point he meets aliens.
How'd that go for him?
Yeah, real well.
Well, like, you're pretty good, Super Force. Your planet's not worth destroying. Not when there's so
precisely.
much Super Force going on.
Anyway, that's pretty good.
Did you see Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes,
It's the only one of those, not another, it's a scary movie.
epic movie,
whatever.
superhero movie. It's the only good one. You're
that's
right.
bearable.
Yeah, is that because of the presence of Chris Evans?
It might be, but also I remember there being some pretty good jokes in it. There's a
It's the
recreation
last one that
of-
has jokes in it.
Yeah, and not just look, it's Britney Spears.
Yeah,
or,
you're right.
Look, it's Borat. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Although those things are pretty funny now that you mention it. I'm just imagining somebody just pushing Britney Spears in a frame. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be
She'd probably
real
cut
funny.
her hair off. Would she?
Yeah.
A woman's breakdown is funny, isn't it?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Though that there's a Breakfast Club recreation scene with the original principal,
That's
which
true.
is
Yeah.
quite good.
Yep.
No, I think it's not amazing, but it's
Yep.
pretty bloody solid. And it's weird that Chris Evans is more famous than Freddie Prinze Jr., who's the
lead
who
in
was
that,
kind of
yeah,
the
right.
lead in the She's All That, which was
Yeah,
this kind of
the real one.
heavily based off. But no, I think the strength of that movie is definitely in Chris Evans.
Yeah. And that
A lot of it.
they wrote jokes.
Actual
And,
jokes.
Like there's a bit where he's like, yeah, he learns that if you want to win this woman over, you sing a song with her name in it. And he sings Janie's Got a Gun, and then she's tasered by campus security.
Absolutely.
It's pretty good.
And they do that thing where you could pick any girl in school and, and I'll turn her into the prom queen or whatever, and they pick the clearly very attractive girl who's in paint-covered overalls.
That's right, yeah.
And he's like, oh, no. Oh,
Right,
it's
yeah.
fantastic.
And it's got that other guy who's great in it, the blonde guy.
Yeah, I know.
He went
he's
on
in
some
Dumb and
other things.
Dumberer. He's in
Oh.
Cellular.
No, he's in something that's he was in a TV series that was quite good, if I recall.
Super Force.
No, it wasn't Superforce. That is quite good. What's your favorite of Con Air or The Rock? I hate Con Air, but I love The Rock.
I like them both, but The Rock is a genuinely good movie.
Oh, then skip it. All right. Starship Troopers. Is that bad or...
I think it's great. Is it not great? I mean, it's schlocky and
Yeah,
it's
see?
dumb,
There we go,
but it's
yeah.
also...
Because it's on the verge of being genius in a way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's overstatement. That's definitely an overstatement. But it's got
Satire.
It's got themes.
It's got bloody... The guy from bloody... The blonde guy. Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
It's got Casper Van Diem. Mm-hmm. It's got Michael Ironside. Mm-hmm. Pretty bloody good, mate. What about the sequels to that?
They're just not good.
They're not good. They
I think
don't...
maybe I've only seen 3.
Yeah, they miss the point entirely, don't they? Yeah. Here's one.
Okay.
What about Demolition Man?
Love it. Although I haven't seen it since it came out on VHS.
Sure.
So,
But I remember it being spectacular.
or I recorded off the television
Right.
on VHS.
Sure, I know what a VHS is. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that's the most over the top, like, Stallone 90s movie that's not bad.
Okay.
Dredd is bad. Judge Dredd is a bad movie. I mean, I know a lot of people kind of enjoy it because it's so bad.
Sure.
But you know what? There is some, like, the costume's not bad. There's some pretty good special effects. Rob
One of the
Schneider's-
ABC Warriors makes an appearance.
Yeah, man. Like,
You know the ABC
I
Warriors.
know him, I think. He fights like mutants in the bloody wasteland or
Yes,
whatever.
he does, yeah.
He fights a big robot.
One of the ABC Warriors.
Yeah, his brother. His brother's in it.
Yeah, it's
Amanda
Sante.
Sante. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're twins apparently.
Yes, yeah,
even though they look nothing alike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Twins don't have to be identical.
that's a really good point. But I guess if you're a genetic clone of that person, maybe you should be.
Yeah, good point.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You can put that on my highlight reel.
Okay. Go on. Because I got a few more.
Okay, go ahead.
I know you've seen this.
All right.
Because I think we watched it together. John Carpenter's Vampires.
Did you say John Carpenter?
Carpenters.
No, you definitely said, and I'm gonna talk about this movie as if it's the real thing that you've said. John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
One of the
Shark in it.
Baldwins.
It's
Yeah,
got
it's got,
Shark.
what's his name? James Woods.
James Woods.
Yeah.
I don't remember enough of it. The book it's based on is very good.
Really?
It's called Vampires. The S is a $, and it's by, wait for it, John Stakely.
Is that that's a pen name?
That's not a pen name. He did another book called Armor, which is kind of a Starship Troopers kind of book as well.
Okay.
He's actually a guy called John Stakely.
Right.
And I was very excited for this movie to come out because I'm like, I really love that book.
And you loved this movie?
I have no memory of it.
I remember
Sort of. There's a lot of boner jokes.
Yeah, there certainly is. Like, James Woods is a really kind of, he sets the rules of the universe at the start. Is like, these are vampires. He does a great speech in a car about the flaws of the vampire and how to bloody get around them. Mm-hmm. The fattest Baldwin is in it. But is he now the fattest Baldwin? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Mm.
Yeah,
Few seasons on 30 Rock makes you pretty fat.
it certainly does. Yeah. Though we kind of went into that.
Yeah, I know,
pretty
yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
Still a handsome man.
I know, right?
I maintain.
I will not take that away from him. Is there a Dusk Till Dawn TV series? Have we talked about that?
Yes, I haven't seen it.
Okay,
Do you
right.
like Dusk Till Dawn?
Again, it's a...
I don't remember loving it.
Yeah.
A woman turns into a snake. I love the twist.
Yep.
How like it starts and it's just this kind of gangster film.
Uh-huh.
They're like low level hitmen or whatever it is, and then they go to this bar and then it just turns.
I went in knowing it was
You
a
went
vampire
in-
film.
yes, yeah.
Surely we all did, though.
Probably, yeah. You're probably right.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's cool. I think that's
Yeah.
a cool premise. I don't know what this guy's got the penis gun. That's a good joke, isn't it?
That's pretty
Do you
good,
remember?
yeah.
What a great joke.
So good.
Is that a good movie?
Who's
to say
See, that's the
that?
thing. Some of these are, for me, are guilty pleasure movies because I've not seen them in so long.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's fun and I defend these to the death or whatever. But I'm sure if somebody said, all right, let's watch it, I disagree with you, let's watch it together.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd sit there and 10 minutes in I'd be like tugging at my collar going,
Oh.
I've made a mistake here. This is a waste of everyone's time.
Well, let me tell you something, Mason. I watched Mask of Zorro today, and it was amazing.
Wow. There you go.
Pete mentioned this the other day. You know Pete. Hello, Pete, if you're listening.
Oh, my friend Pete.
Yeah, in an email.
Oh, yeah.
He said that,
Hollywood Pete, we call
That's
him.
right. He recommended Reign of Fire to everybody when it came out.
Dragon film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
uh-huh.
Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale.
I really like
Dragon-
that film.
That's what I said. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that's a great film. Is it? I mean, I don't
No
know.
way of
I
knowing.
loved it at the time.
There's a bloody
I think
there's a bloody squirrel suit attack on a dragon.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Oh, it's so good.
I like that movie a lot.
They triangulate a dragon's position and then try to pin it to the ground.
It's
in
got two
squirrel
great
suits.
actors in it.
Yeah.
One of whom at the time we didn't know was a great actor.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
It's just, I remember the special effects being really good for the time.
Mm-hmm.
They probably don't hold up as well, but those dragons were. They make a point to be like, no, these aren't magical and mystical. These are just terrible monsters that have
yeah.
ruined our planet. Yeah, and I just remember it being a lot of fun. And there's a bit where Christian Bale is recreating Star Wars for the kids, and they're like,
that's
they're
right,
like,
yeah.
Did you make up this story? And he's like, yep, I did. I made up this. This
Oh.
is mine. Yeah,
Oh, I love a fun, quirky Christian Bale.
yeah,
You know?
it's great.
Just a fun-loving Christian Bale.
He does it all the time. He can't
He
stop
has fun.
him.
He trashes your lights.
He certainly does.
You know.
Yeah. No, Rain of Fire's a good one. You got any others?
No, but I'm sure I can find one.
What about?
Yes.
I think this is a good show, and I mentioned before. I really like Supernatural. I haven't watched the entirety of last season because I'm waiting
Yeah.
until it comes on Netflix. I'm gonna binge watch
But
it.
here's the thing: there's never going to be a final season.
That's okay. I'm okay with it
Just no, but I mean, it's just going to keep going forever.
until people get sick of it.
No, it's still going to keep going.
They'll bring it back.
It's going to be
and
like The Simpsons. It's never going to leave.
surely Simpsons will leave eventually, right?
No, it literally will never.
Good lord.
In the future generations will swear allegiance to The Simpsons, I feel.
Right. Do people watch The Simpsons? I guess they do.
Yeah. You know what? The first G.I. Joe movie. I haven't seen the
The
second
animated one.
No.
Oh, the yeah,
Rise
no,
of Cobra.
I like that movie too.
Yeah?
yeah.
That's been universally panned, surely.
Definitely. What do you like
good
about
fun.
it? I like that I saw it on a plane. What did you like about it?
Oh, so you could drift in and out.
Pretty much.
And the altitude was
No,
doing things
I
to your
remember
brain.
because I was overseas and I hadn't seen a movie for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I saw G.I. Joe on a plane. I hadn't seen a new movie for 6 months, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, but it's got everything that you would hate. You'd think you'd hate.
Right.
It's got.
Brendan Fraser.
He's in it. It's
One of the
got
Wayans.
One of the Wayanses.
Channing Tatum before people thought he was good.
Yep, it's got all those things, and you'd think it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
But I had a real fun time
But the
watching
second one is terrible.
it. Yeah. It's got bloody Eccleston's in it.
He is too.
Gives
He's
it his all.
Deathstroke. Deathstroke?
Destro, yeah.
Yeah. Great. They melt the Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
Or maybe it's the second. There's
With
a
nanites.
nanites.
Yeah.
There's super suits.
There are super. That's exactly every. You'd think I'd hate every part. There's no super suits in GI Joe.
No.
The
But it was
original cartoon
Transformers,
/
man.
action figure / Marvel comic from back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean that the Marvel comic did at one point have Cobra fighting somebody in a bear suit. So that's
That's probably where they got
Yeah.
it from.
probably
They're
that.
like, can we do a bear suit?
Yeah,
Probably not.
do a bear suit. Do a super suit.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to bring back that series? Or, I mean, continue it?
Oh no,
Because The
absolutely
Rock
not.
took over.
He's too busy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he can only lead one or at most 3 franchises at the same time.
I reckon he could do 6.
No.
But he's doing the Journey movies, probably.
Yeah, right.
They're making them still.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Fright Night. The new one.
Didn't
the
see it.
reboot. It's kind of great.
Saw the old one.
Garbage.
We know the fun fact about one of the guys in that.
Go back and
If
listen
you
to
don't,
that.
if you don't, yeah, that's in one of our episodes. What episode would it be?
Someone put it on very early.
Uh-huh.
If someone on the Reddit, the
Yes.
Weekly Planet Reddit, could put the number of that episode in the timestamp, that'd be great.
That'd be
'Cause
great.
I have no idea.
In the original Friday Night, the character of Evil Eddie went on to have the actor who played Evil Eddie,
a very
had
illustrious,
very illustrious storied career in the film industry.
yes,
Just for anybody who's,
and it's quite the journey.
isn't it though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the new one, Anton Yelchin's in it.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Colin Farrell is the vampire.
Uh-huh.
And it messes with it uses the law that they kind of established in the first one.
Uh-huh.
But they kind of twist it a bit.
Right,
like,
okay.
You know, a vampire can't enter a house
Yep.
unless you invite them. So he blows up the house.
Oh yeah.
There's the David Tennant he's like this Chris Angel styled magician.
Uh-huh.
But he's had run-ins with vampires in the past.
Okay.
And that's something he's kind of putting behind him, but then he's kind of dragged back into this battle.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty solid, man.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
especially for a reboot. Yeah, I'd recommend that as a guilty pleasure horror movie, Mason.
Oh yeah.
I think that's all.
We're never across horror movies.
No,
we
we're
should
not.
get more into them.
Yeah,
Don't
probably.
Breathe. That's the new one. That's-
Never breathe. You know what I do for horror movies?
What's
I
that?
go, I wonder what
You
the
cover your face with your hands and you go, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
'cause it's scary.
I'm a chicken. I'm a little baby
I'm
man.
so rarely impressed with horror movies though, but apparently Don't Breathe's good. Apparently Lights Out's really good. The short it's based on is quite creepy. Have you seen that with the turning off the light and you can see the woman standing there in the darkness?
You're thinking of the Pixar logo.
I am, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking of that
hate that light.
terrifying lamp that comes in and it
That
crushes,
sentient, yeah,
crushes the
that
eye.
poor ball.
Oh.
Did it crush? Does it crush a ball? Another one?
No, crushes an
It
eye.
doesn't also crush a ball in
Maybe.
a short. There's a short. Pixar
Oh,
film from,
okay,
like, the
right.
80s.
About the lamp.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
You know what
okay.
I also like? The Lost World, the Jurassic Park sequel. It's not as good by like a long stretch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's got the bit where the T-Rex stomps through the city, so that's
Okay.
pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any more?
Well, speaking of The Rock, the last one, and we've mentioned it before because I'm sure we reviewed it like quite recently. is
Right,
the,
right.
The last Hercules movie.
Yeah, that was fun.
Real good.
Yeah.
Was it panned?
I don't think, not universally, no.
Okay, great,
I
okay.
think some people enjoyed it. That surprised me a lot. I thought that was
Yeah.
going to be real terrible.
Correct.
And it's
Then it's off the list.
And it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty okay. Okay, I got one more here. Krampus from last year. Did you see Krampus?
No. It's on Netflix now. Maybe I should watch Krampus.
Well, there's various versions
I'm
of
sure there's heaps of Krampus movies
Krampus's-
because it's out of copyright.
This is the one with Adam Scott.
It's the one. It's the property that people realized was out of copyright all at the same time.
You know what I'm bloody sick
Like
of?
bloody what's that property?
It's got David Koechner in it as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
So what were we going to say?
reteaming.
What's the property?
I've forgotten his name. I was going to do a joke and I've forgotten.
Well, you're an idiot.
The Australian guy, Sam Worthington. That property, everybody realised. Doesn't
Attack of
matter.
the Titans?
No, I was going to say Sam
Getting
Worthington.
square?
Everybody realised Sam Worthington was out of copyright and they all just decided to use him. Yeah.
Yeah, Krampus is fun. But you know what? You know when...
Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's like every now and then, every Christmas, you get a YouTube video and it's like, hey, do you believe there's this crazy tradition where there's an evil Santa Claus? Yeah, we know, man.
know,
It's
yeah.
been around for that's been common knowledge for 20 years.
Right.
Anyway,
Adam Scott's in it.
Adam Scott's
Is it
in
funny?
Yeah, in parts.
Huh.
Darkly humorous.
Okay.
I think,
We've talked about Operation Endgame, right?
what's that?
It's
Tony
that-
Collette's in it as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie.
Well, then I don't like it.
Okay. This isn't it's not a guilty pleasure movie because it's okay, it's fine.
Sure.
But I mean, nobody ever knows it exists. I'm sure we talked about it before, but it's a movie. It's like a weird. It's like an espionage comedy action movie that takes a weird turn into horror about 2/3 of the way
What
through.
is it?
It's like an espionage.
And what's it
comedy?
called?
Operation Endgame.
Okay.
But it's got Jeffrey Tambor, it's got Adam Scott, it's got Zach Galifianakis,
You've talked
it's got
about
Rob
this.
Corddry,
Yeah.
it's got Ellen Barkin, it's got this weird all-star comedy cast,
Yeah.
and I don't know why it exists.
40% Rotten Tomatoes, 4.9
Yeah.
IMDb.
It's interesting,
Yeah. It's got a very generic cover.
right?
Give it that.
It's so odd.
Yeah, that's real weird.
People should check it out just to let me know if they liked
you
it.
seen
or
it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And you liked it.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's got a good cast.
But again, it's got a weird turn.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't end like you'd think it's going to end.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
And they play. It's like this guy is sort of brought into this espionage agency, which is kind of like the CIA, except there's two opposing teams
yeah.
that kind of counterbalance each other.
Right.
And then they kind of get it. Then there's like a security lockdown, and both teams have to try and kill each other.
Okay, right.
Very odd.
Interesting. Should mention before we wrap this up.
Yeah,
First Caravan of Garbage episode.
that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, probably. Will happen this Thursday.
Okay,
There'll be an
great.
extended one on the audio, just wherever you're listening to this. So
Yep.
And there's also one on my
Bonus
YouTube
in your
channel.
feed.
That's right.
Subscribe if you
Subscribe
haven't
and
already.
you can bloody get that.
Get it just appear.
And you can find-
You'll be like, oh, I'm having a bad day at the office. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
what
noise
you'll
you'll
do.
make,
That's
yeah.
the noise you'll make. Make sure you do.
Don't have a bad day at the
No,
office though.
but there's also if you want to see visuals to that, it's a shorter version.
Yep.
Which is equally dynamic though, Mason, on my YouTube channel.
I've seen some. You showed me some
Yeah,
test
yeah, I
stuff
did,
from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Looks a real nice.
It does look a real nice. Good, Mason. Let's do the next. What is
So
it?
that's going to be the Weekly Planet
Yep.
YouTube feed.
Yeah, it's going to be the Weekly Planet YouTube feed's going to have the audio version, but on my YouTube channel, it's going to have the picture version with pictures.
great. Okay, cool.
Just
Yeah, I get it.
Subscribe to it all, I guess.
Yeah,
It'll
just
all
subscribe
be
to
there.
everything. If you like something, subscribe to it.
Or don't. If you don't like something, unsubscribe.
Oh, don't put that idea in their heads.
Well, I think it's important they know.
Fine.
Mason, you know what it's time
Chekhov's
for?
unsubscription. You tell them they can unsubscribe. By the third act, they'll bloody unsubscribe, mate.
You know what it's time for?
It's our famous segment. What
Yeah.
we're reading?
Yep. What,
And then
we
what- and
gonna,
then we're
what
gonna
are we
read.
going to read?
Yeah, mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Great.
150. I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? Mason, you're definitely reading or watching something, or will.
You know what? Well, I watched Hardcore Henry. I mentioned that earlier.
Yes, you did.
On your recommendation, I watched The Nice Guys.
And?
Real good fun.
Liked it,
Shane
good. I'm
Black.
glad. I thought you
great,
would.
Great people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. You feel for these characters, even though they are not good.
No.
They're not good people.
Well, they're
real
not so-
bad.
they're not so bad.
Yeah, they're, you know.
I'm glad because I made the proclamation that you would definitely like it.
That's true.
And you
yeah.
did.
Also, I've been listening to Auntie Donna have a podcast.
Do they?
Sketch comedy group Auntie Donna have a podcast.
What's the podcast? Is it Sketch Comedy Podcast?
No,
Or
it's
is
just them mucking about.
it chatting.
Just having a bit of a
Love
muck
those
about.
guys, man. They're
It's
really
very
good.
silly.
You told me you had something of theirs that you were going to give to me,
Can't find it.
and then you didn't. What was it?
I can't find it.
Well, didn't tell me.
Oh, it's just a bloody stubby holder.
Ah,
Yeah.
you son of a bitch. Give
Yeah.
me another one.
All right, okay, I'll find it.
I love those guys.
Yeah, it's pretty
Real
good.
funny.
Just them being silly billies.
Yeah.
I get a mention from one of them, and then the other two can't remember who I am. That's pretty funny. In like episode 6 or 7 or something like that, because they my full name is mentioned, and I don't think they know me from as my full name.
Right.
So, it's
Or they
pretty
don't
good.
know you at all.
Yeah.
Or they don't remember
No,
you.
they remember me.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I had lunch with Broden a while back.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I did.
You dickhead.
Yeah.
I watched Donald Glover's new show.
Oh, what's it called again?
Atlanta.
Yep.
There's this kind of up and coming rap superstar in the making.
Yep.
And Donald Glover's kind of he's his cousin / hustler / wannabe music manager.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of about their adventures together. And it's quite funny.
Yeah.
There's very somber in tone at times, Mason.
Uh-huh.
It's about the real world, man, and the rap industry. And when they play the rap music,
Yes.
I'm like, is this good? Because I don't know anything about music. So maybe it's good, maybe it isn't. But I really like the show.
Yeah.
So I think the first one's on. No, it is. The first one's on YouTube.
So is Donald Glover rapping real raps?
No, he's not the rapper in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the real rapper? Is
His
it a real
cousin.
rapper?
I don't know. I have
Okay.
no idea.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty funny, man. It's
Okay.
pretty bloody funny.
That is pretty
One of the
funny.
jokes I enjoyed that it's got the rapper guy has a kind of a stoner loose unit friend that he kind of hangs
Is there a
around
term
with.
for rapper guy?
No,
is there
that's
a more
it. That's what we
concise
call him
term
in
for
Australia.
rapper guy?
Rap star.
Rapper.
What is Kid Rock called?
That's a good question.
He's a rock superstar.
Yeah, he's a
what he
rock
calls
superstar.
himself,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
But where he says that nobody's
He's a real Uncle Cracker, if you know what I mean.
sure.
You know?
He says something like nobody's seen I think it's nobody's seen Biggie since his funeral.
Uh-huh.
And Donald Glover's like, yeah, that's how funerals work.
Right.
That was a really good joke. All right, Mason.
Yes.
Get it ready. Get it lined up.
Get what ready? What are you talking about?
The letters theme we have every week. I remind you every week.
Oh.
And every week you let us down. You're letting us down right
I'm
now.
not. I'm bloody.
Mason. Oh.
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. Hang on, they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
Look,
Now-
okay, I had a torrent going. That's my fault.
No, actually, it's my fault because I assumed you would have a torrent going, or there'd be somebody in the other room watching Gilmore Girls. So I turned my Wi-Fi off because I played this out of my phone.
Okay.
So that was my fault because that's come out of my
Thanks,
phone.
Optus or Telstra or 3 or Virgin or whoever you're with.
Optus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone down to 3G.
Unbelievable.
What is this? What is this? The Stone
bloody
Age?
dark ages, mate.
God.
Yeah.
God.
Get out of here, phone. Got some letters here, Mason. I think they're all DC related.
Oh, love DC.
Do
Is it
you?
about DC memes? I love DC memes
Oh,
on
man.
Instagram.
We haven't talked about DC.
We haven't talked about
memes.
DC memes, but
Bring it up.
I love them. Go on Instagram, search hashtag DC meme. Boy, there's just some great memes on there. Just
Do you want to just break down what they generally are?
generally they're not pithy.
No.
They're just
Long-winded.
they're very long-winded. Like it'll be they're usually Marvel versus DC memes.
Yeah.
And it's a very long, elaborate like
series of panels. and
it's a sort of a
text.
It's a
white
bloody
text.
yeah. There's a lot of text. It's like a manifesto.
Yeah.
About why DC movies are better than Marvel movies.
Right,
And
right.
there'll be some. Oh, they're so good.
And it normally ends with Ben Affleck telling Robert Downey Jr. that he's Batman.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, you text me them during the week.
Look. Sometimes if I have to text you about something, and I'm like, this text isn't very interesting.
It's lacking punch.
It's lacking punch. I'll send you a DC
Right,
meme that I
right.
found. They're so good.
I can read one out if you
Please
want.
do.
Because you've sent me quite a few.
Good.
Do you know I've got you in my phone as Jason? just because I think it's funny.
That's quite all right. That's okay. I'm honoured.
Okay, that's not a good. I mean, they're all not good ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this is the one that makes the most sense.
Great.
It's a picture of Iron Man and Captain America, and it says, "Wear masks, everyone knows them."
Everyone know them.
Know them, sorry. I just self-corrected that in my head. And then it's got Superman and Wonder Woman. It says, "Don't wear masks, no one know them."
This one, it's a picture of the Joker.
Yep.
The Jared Leto Joker.
Yep.
It says, was in SS, Suicide Squad, for 11 minutes. Already more terrifying than these guys. And then below it, it's got Loki, Ultron, Whiplash, whatever the bad guy was in Thor the Dark World, Red Skull, Ronan the Accuser, Baron Zemo, and
Mandarin.
Ben Kingsley's Mandarin.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Also, really complicated.
They're so complicated. You have to know who all those characters are. I was struggling. Anyway, I bloody love them.
Well, you just said the guy from Thor the Dark
Yeah,
World.
I did.
Christopher Eccleston, who you mentioned before,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you still couldn't think of it.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, Mason.
Anyway, I love those memes. I love them.
Keep 'em
and
going.
again, you don't have to pick a side.
No.
Just like movies
you
that
can
are
like
good.
both. It's fine.
Just like whatever you want. It's
Yeah.
fine.
This is from Tim
But
Coogan.
I like memes.
Yeah, I know
love
you
them.
do.
Send me your favorite DC memes if you've seen some.
Yes.
DC Marvel memes, they're my favorite. I don't care whose side you're on. Send me a good DC Marvel meme.
Get into it. Remind me at the end of this to read out some guilty pleasures of people on Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
But
great.
I meant to do that earlier, but I'll do it after the end of the letters. Tim says, now that Jeff Johns is CCO of DC, do you think
Oh, that's too many. He's the DC CEO.
Yes. Do you think our
He's the DC Cucko.
chances of getting
Yes.
a good
We're referring to him as DC Cucko
DC
from now
Cucko,
on.
done.
Yep.
Of getting a good Green Lantern movie have gone up. # Weekly Planet Pod.
He loves
That's how you
Green
reach
Lantern.
us. That's right. I mean, we're definitely getting a Green Lantern movie at some point.
Yep.
But that's probably, I'd say he's probably pushed that. Because
Yeah.
he did he rebooted it in the mid-2000s, didn't he?
Yeah, he rebooted a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah.
the Justice Society and all that sort of stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And pretty successfully.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff. So, no, I think having him in the mix, that's not going to hurt.
Yeah, I would love to see another.
He loves
Green
Hal
Lantern origin
Jordan as
story.
well, doesn't he?
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Because we're getting a Green Lantern Corps movie.
Yeah,
So
and
we'll see a few.
I don't think we need an origin. Like we've had the origin, people didn't like it, but you could just, and again, you could explain that he's been protecting the. If you,
He's in space,
I mean,
man.
regardless of which Green Lantern you use, and I'm sure he'll probably use Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
You know.
probably.
Uh,
But there'll be a few.
yeah. So
We'll
I mean,
get
you
Hal
could just
Jordan, John Stewart.
you
Guy
could just
Gardner.
have him come in and be like, I'm normally protecting this space sector and nothing happens on Earth.
Yeah,
So I
what
don't need to be
has
here.
happened here?
But now.
Why are so many buildings knocked down?
Yeah, exactly, right? And so you could be like, now I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Do you want to see him as an older Hal Jordan with the grey in the
Yes,
temples?
I do.
I know
Yeah.
you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, Mason. But I think he got rid of that, didn't he? I don't remember.
What, for vanity's sake?
No. Jeff Johns wrote it out.
Oh.
Because didn't he brought back Green Lantern after Green Lantern went mad and killed everybody?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
He retconned it so it wasn't Hal Jordan going mad. It was Hal Jordan going mad because there was an entity
Yeah.
that made him go
In
mad.
his mind
In
or
his mind,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, space bug.
That's right. This is from @MitchKelly15.
Also, I'm looking forward to what 2016, 17, 18, 19 can do with, like, rings, you know, Green Lantern
Absolutely.
ring special effects.
Probably just a lot of fists.
Yeah, a lot of big old
Fists and trains.
Well, I want to
mate.
see a green boxing glove. I want to see the classics, and I want to see,
You want to see some new stuff.
and I would like to see different Green Lanterns doing different stuff.
Yeah, because what they can do depends on their imagination and
Yeah,
willpower,
right.
isn't
And
it?
you got
Yeah.
your John Stewart, who's an architect, and all his constructions are architectural.
Some what, sorry?
And he's architectural.
Doesn't
Okay,
matter,
great.
Mason. I've had a big weekend,
Yeah.
all right? Just ease up.
All right. tell us about your big weekend.
No.
All right.
Okay, look, everybody was doing cocaine. And I don't do cocaine because I'm too old to start doing cocaine.
And how good could Australian cocaine be?
I mean,
really?
really.
Yeah.
I'm just not a drugs guy, man.
yeah.
I'm not a drugs guy,
Yeah.
despite my appearance.
Despite that weird white mustache you have most of the time. What's going on there? Why do you love baking so much? What's baking soda for anyway?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah. So they all have, Kilowog's full of passion, and he's got passion,
Yeah,
whatever. And Guy Gardner's a real dickhead, and so that's
He
why
is,
he's-
isn't he? I want to see a Green Lantern with a cast. You know, like they've got a broken arm, so he's got the cast. I love that.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because he's
good,
still
yeah.
out and about, man.
Yeah, I love those too.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, sorry,
Do you think they fall asleep?
it goes off.
And then they're like, oh god,
That's a
this
good
is
question.
healed weird.
That's a really good
No,
question.
I think it'd be.
It'd have to, wouldn't it? It'd have to stay.
Yeah, I think it'd
Yeah.
stay. Yeah.
Depends on your willpower. Mm-hmm. Mitch Kelly 15 hashtag
Oh, your
weekly
won't power.
yes, hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. This is for you. Can you please explain the origin of Deathstroke, and is the Son of Batman storyline accurate?
The son of Bat. I don't know what that's.
Is it the Damian Wayne one, I assume?
Oh, was there an adaptation?
I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
don't know.
Yes, it is. It's dead on.
Okay, great.
But Deathstroke's origin,
Yes.
super soldier. Well, he was in the
Well,
army.
he was a regular soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's bad Captain America.
Yeah, in a way, he is bad Captain America.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's probably the most accurate parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was a soldier. He had a best friend named Wintergreen, who later became his butler for some reason.
Gambling debts.
Yeah, right. He was exposed to he was inducted into an experimental super soldier program.
It was probably called something else because it's the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he is an assassin for
Yes,
hire.
and his origin originally was in the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Because his son Jericho was in the Teen Titans.
Yes.
And he was killed, and then he set up on a very elaborate plot
Yeah.
to bring them all down.
And he didn't.
Didn't work. Didn't work out. They're all still around.
Yeah,
But he has
absolutely.
he's real. He's not keen on the Teen
No.
Titans.
So advanced in combat and weapons and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And stronger than a
Have you
regular
seen
man.
Deadpool? Same origin,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much, but
Yeah.
not as fourth Wally or whatever.
Yeah,
and all that
exactly,
kind of-
yeah.
I've actually got a video on it on what's it called? I have to look that up. I know it's why Deathstroke's a good Batman villain.
Uh-huh.
It's like last week's one. But yeah, I talk about the origin there if you want to check it out, Mason.
I do.
Frank Taylor.
There is a great in Deathstroke the Terminator,
Yeah.
which was his series in the 90s.
Yeah.
There is a great Deathstroke v Batman fight.
Right.
Like that runs all
On
the
the
way
boat?
across. Yeah, and it's like runs all the way across the city. Oh, not
Right.
that one. No,
Yeah.
no. But it's like and Deathstroke comes away the victor.
Oh,
in
really?
a rare turn.
Okay.
Because this was before Batman won all the time.
Right,
Like he
yeah.
would occasionally suffer some losses.
Severe losses.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's I think it'd be great. I think a lot of the impetus of this is him, Batman versus Deathstroke in Arkham Origins,
Yeah.
because that's a great
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
It's a
great-
great fight.
situation.
Cinematic.
Very cinematic.
Frank Taylor 03 says,
Yeah.
Weekly Planet Pod.
Uh-huh.
Can we finally have some more Shia LaBeouf news this week? So for those of you
kinda can, right?
who are newish to the show, we used to have a recurring segment where we
Uh-huh.
talk about either Shia LaBeouf news or Batman v Superman news, because both of them were constantly cropping up circa 2014. And then both went away.
Yeah,
because
right.
the movie came out and people stopped giving a shit about Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But he's come out and said that, I've got a quote here on his role in Suicide Squad, which very nearly happened. The character was initially...
I've just remembered it's not Jericho that was killed. It was Ravager. Deathstroke has two sons.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
I
thank
didn't want
you.
to correct you though.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Didn't
We'll
wanna
get
be
letters
rude.
otherwise. Yeah.
You'd get letters.
Yeah.
The character was different initially then. Will Smith came in and the script changed a bit. The character and Tom Hardy's character, later played by Joel Kinnaman, got written down to build Will up. And he said, I don't think Warner Brothers liked me. I don't doubt that. I went in to meet and they were like, nah, you're crazy.
You're too crazy. Exactly.
You're a good actor, but not this one.
That's
It was a big
They
investment
gave,
for
him
them.
they gave him a whole bunch of really backhanded compliments there, didn't
Didn't
they?
they? Yeah.
I does that story end with, look, they said I was too crazy and a great actor, and then everyone applauded me. It's one of those. You know,
Yeah.
everybody knows this person, and all their stories end with, and then everybody cheered.
Yeah, and everyone agreed that I was the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a dickhead. Mm-hmm. I think it was going to be not the Joel Kinnaman. It was going to be the Scott Eastwood role. I think that was the idea.
Okay. The guy who was in that movie.
Yeah,
Can't remember what
exactly.
his role was. Guy who set the mind?
Yeah, and he died.
Yeah, okay.
Or the Crocodile Man did. I don't give a shit about Shia LaBeouf. I'm sick of his shit, quite frankly.
Right.
I mean, we haven't talked about it for a long time.
Uh-huh.
He just seems like such a wanker. Like, so self-important, but also it's that doing weird stuff just to get attention kind of thing.
Yep, uh-huh.
Like, you're not crazy or out there. You're just an idiot.
Uh-huh.
What are you, like 28? Fucking get it together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just do coke on the weekends, not all the time, you know?
Anyway, he's rich. I'm sure he doesn't care.
Uh-huh.
And also he rubbished Steven Spielberg this week.
Did he? For what?
For Indiana Jones. He said the whole thing was like it was a big machine. It was the Indiana Jones 4. It's like a
Yeah.
money-making production.
Wow.
Like a movie.
So you're gonna give your paycheck back. Shia LaBeouf. Is that what you're going to do? You're going to give your money back? You should probably give your money back for the 3 Transformers movies you're
No,
in.
those ones he said he liked.
Oh, so you can keep the money
He
for
kept
those.
money for that
Right.
one, but all the other ones he didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should keep the money for your appearance in the video clip to actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
That I like.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's okay.
No, see, that's the thing. That song is great.
Yeah, but that-
and the
he
video
didn't
clip
make
is
it,
great.
yeah.
But he didn't make it. He's just at the end clapping, and you
Yeah.
go, "Oh, he's a good sport then." So maybe
Yeah.
no, disagree.
Anyway, tweets, Mason.
Yes. Oh, guilty pleasure tweets
Yep.
or just regular tweets?
Captain Galaxy says porn. Sure.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah.
Lee Lahav, who great animation. Check him out, Mason. I've talked about it before. Two broke girls forever.
Wow.
Well, Luca T, 17 again. If you hashtag Weekly Planet Pod, Mason, you can see some of these as well if you
Okay,
want.
alright.
You don't have to though. Little Nicky from Adam J. Rendon
I was trying to think of an Adam Sandler movie.
that you don't hate.
Well, I don't hate.
I guess Happy Gilmore.
I don't hate Happy Gilmore. That's the best one, but it's good, right? I wouldn't call
Yeah,
it a guilty
yes,
pleasure because that's
yeah.
universally people
I
like.
liked
That's
it.
funny. It's got the best jokes.
Yep.
You know
You sure?
what I'm talking about.
I know. James Davenport, he hates himself for loving the movie Mean Girls as much as he does. That's actually a great movie.
That's a good film.
And also it was written by
Tina Fey?
Tina Fey, yeah.
Mhm.
Aidan O'Hara, Click, another Adam Sandler one.
That's no good.
Haven't
That's no
seen it.
good. What could you possibly like about that? I mean, good on you for liking it. But here's the test. What's good about it? Nothing. It's garbage. I've seen some of it.
Sure.
It's just sad.
It's just
It's just a sad movie.
doesn't he fast forward time or something and he's
Yeah, and then,
something
he,
like that?
and then he fast forwards through too much time, and his kids are like, "Oh, you were never around."
Great.
Hmm.
Dan Layden says, "How to Get Away with Murder? Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23," which you
Yeah,
enjoyed.
good. Yeah, both of those
Yeah.
shows are good.
And Keeping Up Appearances, which is garbage.
With Mrs. Hyacinth Bouquet.
I hate that show, man.
Yeah, no, I had it too.
The film guy, Airheads. Remember? Oh no, I said a different one, didn't I? You remember?
said- yeah,
I
mhm.
did.
No.
What else we got here? DC Doctor, Mall Cop. It's not good and it's weirdly entertaining. At
Paul
least
Blart
it's-
Mall Cop.
Yeah, at least it's
Okay.
not Spectre.
Uh-huh.
Boomer says Jersey Shore. Don't know why. Don't judge me. Graham Smith.
I saw an episode
Phantom
of
Menace.
Jersey Shore. I've only seen one episode.
Did someone yell the cabs are here?
No, but what happened was it was a guy walking along, I guess, the pier of the Jersey Shore, and this was like a couple of seasons in probably, so people knew of him.
Right.
And so this guy kept coming up to this guy and being like, "You're not from the Jersey Shore. You're not. You're from the you're not native to the Jersey Shore,
Right.
I guess." And this guy kept like harassing him, and then there was just a fight.
Nice.
It's no good.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do we got here? DC Doctor, Green Lantern as well.
What is that?
The movie Green Lantern.
Oh, okay.
his
Oh,
name.
I see. I thought there was
Yeah.
a TV series called
Corey,
DC
the first
Doctor.
Transformers. Yeah, no, I don't.
That movie's
disagree with
quite
that.
good up until it's quite good up until the point where the Transformers are playing hide and seek outside of Shia LaBeouf's house.
Right, right.
When you're like, couldn't they just transform into
The
cars and be
just-
around the
yeah,
house?
Yeah,
and nobody,
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sean says Daredevil 2003 and Terminator 3. Don't judge me, goat. I kind of like those movies as well. That's okay.
Daredevil has the playground fight, which everybody thinks is super dumb, but I think is delightfully charming.
Great. It is dumb.
And
Dick.
it blossomed into a real life, but now ended romance.
Correct. Thanks, Hollywood. Dick Willie Warpig 3 says Spider-Man 3.
I'm a big fan of Dick Willie Warpig 3.
A movie called Ben. He's very supportive on Twitter. Thank you, Ben. The 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, just because I watched it as a kid. And
Oh,
also,
boy.
And also Lake.
Wow.
Yeah, and also Lake Placid. I'd agree with Lake Placid.
Is that the giant
Yeah,
crocodile
giant
movie?
crocodile one. Brad Love, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Never seen it.
No.
Leon Toy Soldiers. Isn't it good? I don't remember.
Which one is Toy Soldiers? Oh, the...
The Sean Astin one, is it?
Oh, I was thinking of Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers is good.
Right?
Jim Bob Squarepants says The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and
Can't be good.
the other
Can't
guy.
be good.
Yeah. Sean says, can Batman v Superman be considered a guilty pleasure? Ooh.
Yeah, okay,
But seriously, New Girl, he says.
I've
Gravity.
seen some new... No, I'll happily put New Girl into the guilty pleasure category. I've
Sure.
seen New Girl. It's pretty good. Good time.
At,
For good fun.
at Vic Gerg says, it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I dropped it, so I guess it's not so pleasurable after all. I guess not.
If you're not having fun, walk away.
Yeah.
It's good rules.
Mr. Two Moments, Gotham.
I can see that.
Mark Hardy says, discuss how Looper is the poor man's time cop. Discusses how... Interesting. You love Looper. Sherlock is fun to watch from Auden Chamberlain. I like Sherlock. Oh no, this guy's like me. Just me says, yeah, Mr. Sunday Movies videos. You son of
Got ya.
You got me.
Got ya. They're universally panned, but he enjoys them anyway.
Andy Chow says, Battlefield Earth, best movie ever. Who wouldn't love John Travolta as a 7-foot-tall alien?
Me.
Dogs run the planet. Yeah. Heroes All Seasons, despite every one of them, everyone hating season 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. But from Aya, one more, Mason. The Shannara Chronicles is total shit and thoroughly entertaining from Carl Drongo.
That's good.
I've seen all the Shannara Chronicles, and
And?
he's absolutely right.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's pretty entertaining. That's the show for this week, Mason.
We did it.
Don't forget to do all these things Mason will list.
Brush your teeth and floss. Flossing's very important,
Floss
especially getting older.
first.
Floss first?
Yeah, man. You
What's
get
that?
because you get the gunk out and then you brush over the top.
Oh,
Sheen
wow.
over the top.
I'm going to try that tonight.
Please do.
Thank you. Good advice.
I do floss. It's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. There was a recent study about it. Said it's
And?
not important, but I think they're wrong. I don't think they have enough data.
I've when I got one of my teeth fixed, I've got a gap at the back,
Oh, yeah.
which is just big enough that it sometimes catches stuff. So I always so I thought about getting it fixed.
Is that where you have that speech impediment?
Correct. But I thought about getting it fixed, but then if I get it fixed, I probably won't floss. So I just
Yeah, that's
leave
true,
it and,
yeah, yeah.
and live my life, man. What else? What
Uh,
else should people do or watch or listen to or find us?
20 minutes of exercise a day?
I do a bit. Sometimes I do a bit more than that, Mason.
yeah.
I don't know if you know that about me.
Huh.
I like to do my crunches.
Yeah, I know, God. God. Settle your personal vendettas, I think, is... Just bury some hatchets, people, if you could. That'd be great. You'll feel better. You don't have to do so many crunches.
Correct.
But also, if you want
Yeah.
to follow us on Twitter, we're Weekly Planet Pod. We're on Twitter, we're on Gmail, we're on Facebook.
Correct.
We're on Bandcamp with some audio commentaries.
Yep.
If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies.
Correct.
Where you can put in like $1 or $2 a month or something like that.
Or $1 million.
Or $1 million. What is it? Once is $82 million, right?
Yeah.
All we have to do is get that once.
One
Also-
time.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't let me set it. Wouldn't let
Oh,
me
yeah,
set
that's right,
$82 million.
You have to click $82 1 million times.
Correct.
Also, if you want to support the show by doing what you'd probably do anyway,
Yeah.
we've got an Amazon affiliate link
Yep.
in the episode description. You just click on that, goes through to regular Amazon. Buy what you're going to buy anyway. Buy some graphic novels. Buy Superforce on VHS.
Correct. For Mason.
Buy it for me. buy it for me. And you pay the same price and we get a kickback somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Who knows? Who knows
Yeah.
why? What else? Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Arachim for our theme songs.
Love them. We're moving all our shirts over to TeePublic.
Okay,
in the
cool.
process of doing that.
Nice.
I'll link that below. Some of them are there, and
Ooh.
hopefully we can all be there
Very
at some
nice.
point soon. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod if you want to
Yeah.
contact the show.
Follow at the Weekly Planet on Twitter.
Yep,
That's our
good
friend
one.
Robert Collins.
Correct.
There's a Reddit. I should
Yep.
get on the Reddit.
I
I always
know,
say I'm going
I
to get on the
know, I
Reddit,
know.
but it's one of those things where once I get in, it takes up all my time.
Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of the Something Awful for
Right, yeah.
and it would just take up all my time.
Just-
I was always clicking away and typing a little comment and doing a little Photoshop.
People have got on the Reddit now. How did you guys stumble across a Weekly Planet podcast on the Reddit?
Gypsy Curse.
Gypsy Curse. Well, that's how we stumbled
Yeah,
into it. But it's good to see a lot of people said they went through YouTube videos, which is I'm glad of that because I literally mentioned in every video
Right.
ever. So it's paying off, Mason.
Yeah.
That's
Be
good to
bad if
hear.
it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I know, right?
If one person was like, yeah, I got it through James's YouTube videos, and there were 10,000 comments that were like, his
The
what?
what now?
A what?
A who? Which one's James?
No good.
Great. Oh, I was on an episode this week of Movie Mania with Bandit Incorporated, a couple of his friends.
Very nice.
And we talked about the the upcoming spring season of movies. Spring
Love
for
it.
us, autumn for everybody else.
Bandit Incorporated, if you're listening,
Yeah.
and if that is your real name, I
is.
suspect it is.
Yep.
You also asked if I'd be on an episode a while back on Twitter, and I lost the tweet, and it disappeared in the ether, and I'm like, I should respond to that.
But no.
No, I'll be on a bloody episode of something if you want me on for something.
Yeah, he's a
my,
good bloke.
my
They
areas
all
of
are.
expertise
Trey.
are
They're good blokes.
yeah. What else? That's about it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm on an episode of Do Go On about Elvis Presley that's not out yet, so I'll mention it when it's out.
I look forward to seeing it, Mason. I look forward to bloody seeing it. All right. So, yeah, remember this Thursday. Hopefully, there'll be something be up.
Caravan of Garbage.
That's right.
Premiere.
If it's not up,
Big old premiere.
it's because it's not ready. And the only reason...
So at Mr. Sunday
Yes.
Movies say, where is it?
Well,
Where's
I'm not
my
making it,
content?
but also I don't want to put it out and then fall behind on the other episodes. So I want to make sure they're ready to go so I can do one every Thursday.
Yeah.
And if I can't, then I'm
Exactly.
pushing back a week.
Brian Hurst on Twitter says, I like Cowboys and Aliens. There, I said it.
He
Is
did,
it good?
didn't he? It's fine.
Great.
I don't really remember it.
Nice.
I remember it being not as good as I wanted it to be.
Perfecto.
Summed it up nicely.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for subscribing. Subscribe or you get the extra content.
That's true.
Content.
Oh yeah. By the way, I will be putting it up on Patreon a little bit early.
Nice.
if I
very
can.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
I mean, I will, but it's just a bit. You don't have to. You're gonna get it regardless. Do whatever
running
you
a
want.
podcast's a bloody nightmare. I say as someone who does nothing about the admin. I just show up late. I show up late every week, but it's a bloody nightmare.
It's not
I
a
tell you what,
problem.
imagine having to plan episodes and write things down and do stuff. Imagine that.
It's
God.
a joy, Mason.
Oh, maybe I should do some of it.
It's a joy.
No, I wouldn't want to deprive you of the joy, though, would I? Yeah, no, that'd be mean.
Don't
That'd be the worst thing I
Don't
could
take
do.
it away from me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Grab that gem, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.